What if Palpatine feared a redeemed Vader? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The vision hits Palpatine like a blade through the heart. Vader, standing in light, the mask removed. Anakin Skywalker's face staring back at him with blue eyes instead of Sith yellow. A green lightsaber ignites, and beside him stands Luke Skywalker, father and son, united. Together, they advance on the Emperor, and Palpatine sees his own death. This is the moment everything changes. The nightmare the Emperor never prepared for. His greatest weapon, his most feared enforcer, redeemed, not destroyed, not replaced, but transformed back into the hero he once was. And that terrifies Palpatine more than any rebellion ever could. Because Darth Vader can be controlled, can be manipulated, can be owned. But Anakin Skywalker, with a son who believes in him, that is something entirely different. That is the one threat Palpatine cannot predict, cannot dominate, cannot survive. The vision shatters, and Palpatine knows with absolute certainty. If Vader is redeemed, the Empire falls. If the son saves the father, the Sith die. This cannot be allowed to happen. But on the other side of the galaxy, that very redemption has already begun. Cloud City. Luke Skywalker hangs from a weather vane, his hand severed, his world shattered by the truth. Darth Vader is his father. And despite the horror of that revelation, despite everything logic tells him, Luke senses something impossible. Conflict. Light struggling against darkness. Good buried beneath evil. His father is still in there. And that changes everything. Because if Luke refuses to give up on Vader, if he continues to believe redemption is possible, then Palpatine's worst fear will come true. The Emperor acts immediately. He cannot allow sentiment to corrupt his apprentice, cannot allow this boy to plant seeds of doubt in Vader's mind. The solution is simple. Eliminate the threat. Kill Luke Skywalker before he can save his father's soul. And if Vader shows even the slightest hesitation, even the smallest crack in his loyalty, then Vader too must be destroyed. Palpatine has not survived this long by being sentimental. Apprentices are tools, and tools can be replaced. Palpatine rises from his throne, his movements sharp despite his aged appearance. He paces the chamber, his mind racing through possibilities. How did he not foresee this? The answer comes quickly. Luke Skywalker, the boy he sensed years ago, hidden away on Tatooine. The boy he allowed to live because Vader's grief and rage over his family's death served Palpatine's purposes. That decision may have been his greatest mistake. The son is the key, the catalyst, the one thing that could pierce through decades of darkness and touch whatever remains of Anakin Skywalker, buried beneath the armor and hatred. The Emperor's lips curl into a snarl. Not redemption. Never that. He will not allow it. Cannot allow it. Vader is his weapon, his slave, his greatest achievement. He took a broken Jedi, a man drowning in grief and self-hatred, and forged him into the most feared being in the galaxy. Vader is proof of the dark side's supremacy, proof that even the Chosen One could be corrupted and controlled. To lose that would be to lose everything. It would mean the dark side can be overcome, that hope can triumph over despair, that his life's work could unravel. No, Palpatine will not permit it. He will eliminate this threat before it can manifest. He will destroy Luke Skywalker. And if Vader shows even the slightest hint of wavering, even the smallest crack in his loyalty, then Vader too will be destroyed. The Emperor has not survived this long by being sentimental. Apprentices are tools, nothing more. Powerful tools, but ultimately replaceable. He has been considering replacements for years, training possibilities in secret. Perhaps it is time to accelerate those plans. Far across the galaxy, aboard his personal star destroyer, the Executor, Darth Vader stands in the observation deck. The blackness of space stretches before him, endless and cold, dotted with distant stars that offer no warmth. His mechanical breathing fills the silence, that rhythmic hiss and wheeze that has defined his existence for over 2 decades. It is the sound of his prison, the constant reminder of what he has become. A machine, a monster, the Dark Lord of the Sith. But something has changed. Deep within, something has stirred. A crack in the armor of hatred and despair he has built around himself. Cloud City, the boy, Luke Skywalker, his son. The revelation shook something loose inside him, something he thought died in the flames of Mustafar, along with Anakin Skywalker. The boy's words echo in his mind, refusing to be silenced, no matter how he tries to bury them. There is still good in you. I can feel it. Those simple words, spoken with such certainty, such faith. No one has believed that in over 20 years. Not since Padme died in his arms, telling him there was still good in him, even as he force-choked the life from her. Vader's reflection stares back from the viewport. Black armor, cape, the emotionless mask. The monster he has become. The monster Palpatine made him. Is there still good in him? Can there be? Or is Luke simply naive, seeing what he wants to see in a father he never knew? Padme believed it once. She died believing it. The thought sends a spike of pain through him, the kind his suit cannot numb, the kind that cuts deeper than any lightsaber wound. He clenches his fist, and the viewport cracks slightly under the pressure of the Force. An officer at a nearby console flinches but says nothing. They have all learned not to provoke Lord Vader, especially when he is in one of his moods. But the officer doesn't see the way Vader's hand trembles afterward, doesn't see the internal war raging behind that mask. For the first time in decades, Darth Vader is questioning his master, questioning his path, questioning whether the dark side truly gave him the power to save those he loved, or if it simply gave him the power to destroy them. These thoughts are dangerous, treasonous. The dark side thrives on certainty, on absolute commitment. Doubt is weakness. Hesitation is failure. Yet Vader cannot stop the questions from coming. He thinks of Padme constantly now, her face, her voice, her last words. He had told himself for years that she betrayed him, that she chose Obi-Wan over him. But that was a lie, wasn't it? She came to Mustafar to save him, to bring him home. And he repaid her love with violence, with the dark side, with everything she feared he would become. The memory burns worse than the lava that consumed his body. At least that pain eventually ended. This pain, this guilt, it never stops. It is the foundation of his power, the fuel for his rage. But what if Luke is right? What if that pain doesn't have to define him? What if there is another way? Vader shakes his head violently, trying to dispel these thoughts. They are the boy's influence. Luke is clever, perhaps even manipulative in his innocence. He plants these seeds of doubt, these dreams of redemption, because he doesn't understand what Vader has become, the things he has done, the blood on his hands. There is no redemption for Darth Vader, no path back to the light. That door closed on Mustafar, closed when he slaughtered the younglings at the Jedi Temple, closed when he hunted down and murdered his former friends and fellow Jedi, closed with every atrocity he has committed in the Emperor's name. And yet, the thoughts persist. Luke survived their encounter on Cloud City. Vader had him. had a dozen opportunities to capture him, to bring him to the Emperor as commanded. But he didn't. He hesitated. He wanted something else. He wanted Luke to join him, yes, but not for the Emperor, for himself, to overthrow Palpatine together, to rule as father and son. It was a Sith's ambition, the natural desire of an apprentice to surpass the master. But beneath that, there was something else. Something he barely acknowledges. He wanted his son, wanted family, wanted something that wasn't built on fear and domination. Luke refused him, chose to fall to his possible death rather than join the dark side. That choice, that defiance, it should have enraged Vader, should have fueled his hatred. Instead, it filled him with something uncomfortably close to pride. His son had his mother's courage, his mother's goodness, perhaps even his mother's faith in the impossible. Vader returns to his meditation chamber, the spherical sanctum where he can remove his mask and breathe, if only for a few moments. The chamber seals behind him, and he is alone, truly alone. He reaches up and deactivates the seal on his helmet. The hiss of escaping air is followed by the click of magnetic locks releasing. He lifts the mask away. The cold air hits his scarred face and he gasps. Without the Suit's respirator, every breath is agony. His lungs, damaged beyond repair by the flames and smoke of Mustafar, struggle to process oxygen. But for these brief moments, he endures the pain, because it is the only time he can feel even partially human. He stares at his reflection in the polished black wall of the chamber. Pale, scarred skin, milky, damaged eyes, the ruin of what was once Anakin Skywalker, a broken thing, a monster. But as he stares, he tries to see what Luke sees, what Padme saw. Is there anything of Anakin left in this twisted visage? He reaches into the Force, not with the anger and pain that have sustained him for decades, but with something else. Curiosity, longing. He thinks of Padme, and instead of the usual spiral into rage and grief, he simply remembers her smile, the way she looked at him on Naboo during those perfect days before the Clone Wars, the way she believed in him even when the Jedi Council didn't, the way she loved him despite his flaws, his darkness, his fear. More memories surface, memories he has buried. His mother, Shmi, who loved him unconditionally despite their enslavement, who told him he was special, that he was meant for great things. Obi-Wan, not as the enemy he became on Mustafar, but as the brother and master he was for over a decade. Patient, wise, always believing Anakin would live up to his potential. Ahsoka, his Padawan, who looked up to him, who called him Sky Guy and made him laugh even in the darkness of war. The Jedi he fought beside, the clones who trusted him to lead them. All of them gone now, dead, betrayed, or abandoned. What would they think of him now? The answer is obvious and crushing. They would be horrified, disgusted, heartbroken. Anakin Skywalker was supposed to be the chosen one, the hero who would bring balance to the Force. Instead, he became its greatest villain. But Luke doesn't know that history. Luke only knows that Vader is his father and believes impossibly that there is still good in him. What if the boy is right? The thought terrifies Vader more than anything else, because if there is still good in him, if redemption is possible, then he has to face what he's done, has to acknowledge every murder, every atrocity, every moment he chose darkness over light. And that weight might crush him more thoroughly than the lava ever did. A communication alert disrupts his meditation. Vader grimaces and replaces his mask. The seal engages with a hiss, and his breathing returns to that mechanical rhythm. He opens the chamber to find an officer waiting nervously. "Lord Vader, The Emperor commands your presence immediately. It is urgent. Vader nods and follows, his cape billowing behind him. As he walks through the corridors of the Executor, stormtroopers and officers alike press themselves against the walls to give him passage. They fear him. Everyone fears him. It is what he is known for. But when was the last time someone looked at him with anything other than fear? Padme was the last, and he killed her for it. The hologram chamber activates, and the massive blue image of Emperor Palpatine materializes. Even through the hologram, Vader can sense his master's agitation. The Emperor's face is twisted in barely concealed fury, his yellow eyes burning with dark side energy. Lord Vader, I sense a disturbance in you, a weakness. Tell me, have you been thinking of the boy, of Luke Skywalker? Vader's mechanical breathing is the only sound for a long moment. He considers lying but knows Palpatine would sense it. Yes, my master. The revelation at Cloud City has given me much to consider. Palpatine's expression hardens. I warned you that personal attachments are a weakness. The boy is a threat to everything we have built. He is the last of the Jedi, and more importantly, he is a threat to you. He will seek to destroy you, to avenge his father's fall to the dark side. Vader's hands clench. Luke is not a threat. He is an opportunity. Together, we could turn him, make him serve the Empire. He is powerful, strong in the Force. The Emperor's laugh is cold and mocking. You think I don't see what you truly want, old friend. You want family. You want redemption through the boy. But there is no redemption for us. We are beyond such things. The dark side is our path, and we must walk it to the end. The words cut deeper than Vader expects. Because Palpatine is right. That is what he wants, even if he barely admits it to himself. Before he can respond, Palpatine continues. I have a task for you, my apprentice. You will hunt Luke Skywalker across the galaxy. When you find him, you will bring him to me. And if he resists, if he proves impossible to turn, you will kill him. This is not a request. This is a command. Prove your loyalty, Lord Vader. Prove that your son means nothing compared to your dedication to the dark side. Only then will I know you remain my faithful servant. Vader bows his head, the weight of the command settling on his shoulders. It will be done, my master. But even as he speaks the words, doubt gnaws at him. Can he kill Luke? Should he? Or is this the Emperor's way of testing him, of determining whether he remains useful? Palpatine's image flickers as if sensing his thoughts. One more thing, Lord Vader. To ensure the success of this mission, I am assigning someone to accompany you. She will report directly to me on your progress and assist in capturing or eliminating the boy. The chamber door opens and a woman enters. She is young, perhaps in her late 20s, with red gold hair and sharp, intelligent green eyes. She wears black and crimson robes, and a lightsaber hangs from her belt. Her presence in the Force is impressive, controlled, and deadly. She is a predator, trained and honed. She bows to the Emperor's hologram. Lord Vader, this is Mara Jade, my hand. She has served me faithfully for years, carrying out my will across the galaxy. She is skilled in combat, espionage, and assassination. She will be your companion on this hunt. Vader turns his masked face toward the woman. She meets his gaze without fear, which is unusual. Most people cannot maintain eye contact with him for long, but Mara Jade is not most people. She radiates confidence, the certainty of one who knows her purpose and executes it without hesitation. Vader understands immediately what she truly is. Not an assistant, a watcher, a replacement if he fails, if he shows weakness. if he hesitates to kill his son. Palpatine is hedging his bets, preparing for the possibility that Vader might betray him. The realization is both insulting and concerning. His master's trust, never strong to begin with, is eroding. "As you command, my master. Mara Jade and I will find the boy and bring him to you." The hologram flickers and Palpatine leans forward, his expression cruel. "See that you do, because if you fail me in this, Lord Vader, if you allow sentiment to cloud your judgment, then you will discover that even you are not irreplaceable. I have other apprentices in training, other servants who hunger for the power I could grant them. Do not force me to test whether they might serve me better than you have. The threat is clear and unmistakable. Vader has always known his position was precarious, that Palpatine valued him only for his usefulness. But never before has the Emperor been so blatant about it." The hologram deactivates and Vader is left alone with Mara Jade. She studies him with those sharp green eyes, and he can sense her analyzing him, looking for weaknesses. "You are the Emperor's hand." "I know what that means. You are trained to kill Force users, to eliminate threats to the Emperor. Am I one of those threats?" Mara's expression doesn't change. "I serve the Emperor's will absolutely. If he commands me to kill, I kill. If he commands me to serve, I serve. Right now, I am commanded to assist you in capturing or killing Luke Skywalker. That is my only concern." But her hand rests casually near her lightsaber, a subtle reminder that she could become his enemy in an instant, if circumstances change. Vader turns away, dismissing her. "We depart within the hour. Prepare yourself." She nods and leaves, but Vader can feel her presence lingering in the Force, even after she's gone. Palpatine has placed a leash on him, a constant reminder of who truly holds power. And perhaps more than that, Palpatine is sending a message that Vader can be replaced, that his decades of service, his power, his position, all of it is conditional. The Emperor is preparing for the possibility of Vader's fall, not to death, but to redemption. And that preparation tells Vader everything he needs to know. His master fears him, not his power, not his ambition, but his potential for change. The realization is both terrifying and liberating. If Palpatine fears it, then perhaps it is possible after all. Perhaps Luke was right. Perhaps there is still good in him. But to explore that possibility means betraying everything he has been for 2 decades, means facing the full weight of his crimes, means risking everything for the slim chance of redemption. Is he strong enough for that? He doesn't know. But as the Executor prepares to depart in search of Luke Skywalker, Vader makes a decision. He will find the boy, but not to kill him, to understand him, to learn how his son can still see light in him when all Vader sees is darkness. Meanwhile, on the forest moon of Endor, Luke Skywalker trains. His green lightsaber hums as it cuts through the air in precise forms. Kata, meditation in motion. Master Yoda taught him the basics, but the ancient Jedi Master is gone now, one with the Force. Luke must continue his training alone, guided only by the fragmentary texts he's recovered and his own connection to the Force. He moves through the sequences fluidly, his body and blade becoming one. Strike, parry, spin, thrust. Each movement flows into the next like water, but his mind is elsewhere, on his father, on Darth Vader. The revelation at Cloud City shook his entire understanding of himself. His father is not dead. He's alive, but transformed into the Empire's greatest enforcer. The man who slaughtered Jedi, who terrorized the galaxy, who serves the Emperor without question. That is his father. And yet, when Luke touched Vader's mind through the Force during their duel, he felt something. A spark. a flicker of light struggling against overwhelming darkness. The man who was Anakin Skywalker is still in there, buried beneath layers of pain and hatred. Luke deactivates his lightsaber and sits in meditation. He reaches out through the Force, feeling the life around him. The trees, the animals, the Ewoks in their villages, the rebel base hidden in the forest. All of it connected through the Force, the energy field that binds the galaxy together. He extends his awareness further, searching. And there, distant but unmistakable, he feels it. His father. Vader's presence in the Force is like a wound, dark and seething with pain. But beneath that darkness, Luke senses something else. Conflict, uncertainty. His father is struggling with something, wrestling with doubts that Luke's words planted. Can Vader be redeemed? Everyone Luke has spoken to says no. Obi-Wan told him Anakin Skywalker was destroyed, that only Vader remains. Master Yoda warned him not to underestimate the Emperor's hold over Vader. Even Leia, when he finally told her about their father, looked at him like he was insane for even considering the possibility. To them, Vader is irredeemable, a monster who must be destroyed, not saved. But Luke cannot accept that. He cannot believe that anyone is beyond redemption, beyond hope. His father was once a Jedi, a hero. The good man he was cannot have been completely erased. It must still exist somewhere inside him. Luke's meditation is interrupted by Leia's arrival. His twin sister, though she doesn't fully know it yet, approaches with her usual confidence. She wears practical, rebel fatigues and has a blaster on her hip. Where Luke seeks to understand and redeem, Leia is more pragmatic. She sees the Empire as an enemy to be defeated, not reasoned with. "Luke, we need to talk." He opens his eyes and sees the concern on her face. "What is it?" She sits beside him, her expression serious. "It's about your father, about Vader. I know you want to believe there's good in him, but you need to be realistic. He's killed countless people, destroyed entire worlds. He tortured me, Luke, stood by and watched Alderaan be destroyed. How can you talk about redeeming someone like that?" Luke meets her gaze steadily. "Because I felt it, Leia. When I fought him, when our minds touched through the Force, I felt his conflict. He didn't want to kill me. He wanted me to join him, yes, but not just to serve the Emperor. He wanted family. He wanted connection. That's not the action of someone completely consumed by darkness." Leia shakes her head. Or maybe it's the action of a manipulator. Vader is smart, Luke. He knows how to use people's emotions against them. Maybe he's playing you, making you think there's hope, so you'll lower your guard. The words sting because Luke has considered that possibility. But his instincts, honed through the Force, tell him otherwise. "I know what I felt, and I know what the Force is telling me. My path, our path, it's connected to him, to Vader. If we can turn him back to the light, it could change everything. The Emperor's greatest weapon becomes his greatest enemy. The symbol of the Empire's power becomes a symbol of hope. Can't you see how important that could be?" Leia sighs, her frustration evident. "I see how dangerous it is. If you're wrong, if he betrays you, you'll be killed. And if you're captured, they'll use you to break the rebellion. Is that worth the risk?" Luke stands and reignites his lightsaber, returning to his practice. "Some things are worth any risk. Besides, I'm not just doing this for the rebellion. I'm doing it for him, for my father. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption, even people who've done terrible things. Especially them, because they're the ones who need it most." Leia watches him for a moment, then stands. "Just promise me you'll be careful. Promise me you won't throw your life away on a hope that might be false. Luke pauses his forms and looks at her. I promise I'll be careful, but I won't promise to give up on him. I can't, and neither should you. Something in his words makes Leia pause. What do you mean? Luke takes a breath, deciding how much to reveal. There's something I haven't told you yet. Something the Force has been trying to show me. You and I, we're connected in more ways than just the rebellion. We're family, Leia. Twins, separated at birth to protect us from the Emperor. Which means Vader isn't just my father. He's yours too. The revelation hits Leia like a physical blow. She staggers back, her face going pale. No, that's impossible. Luke can feel her turmoil through their connection. I know it's hard to accept, but reach out through the Force. You can feel it too. The connection between us. The connection to him. Leia closes her eyes, and Luke senses her tentatively reaching out. He guides her, helping her feel the bond they share. And beyond that, the distant but undeniable presence of their father. When she opens her eyes, they're filled with tears. He destroyed my world, killed my parents. And you're telling me he's my father? Luke steps closer but doesn't touch her. I'm telling you that Bail and Breha Organa loved you, raised you. They were your parents in every way that matters. But biologically, yes, Vader is your father too. And that gives you a choice. You can hate him for what he's done. You have every right to. Or you can help me try to bring him back to the light, to turn him into the father neither of us ever had a chance to know. Leia turns away, her hands trembling. She's silent for a long moment, processing the revelation. Finally, she speaks, her voice barely a whisper. I need time to think about this, to decide what it means. Luke nods. Take all the time you need, but whatever you decide, I'm going to try. I have to. It's my destiny. I can feel it. Leia leaves without another word, and Luke returns to his training. But his mind is heavy. He knows he's asking the impossible of Leia, asking her to forgive the unforgivable, to see humanity in a monster. But if he can't convince his own sister that redemption is possible, how can he hope to convince Vader? Days pass and the hunt for Luke Skywalker begins in earnest. Vader's fleet moves through the Outer Rim, following intelligence reports and Force visions. But something is different about this hunt. Vader is not the relentless predator he usually is. When his forces corner a rebel cell on Dantooine, he captures the operatives but does not execute them. When an officer suggests enhanced interrogation, torture to extract Luke's location, Vader refuses. We will use standard interrogation methods, nothing more. The officer looks confused but obeys. This is not how Lord Vader typically operates. Mara Jade watches from the shadows, her eyes narrowed. She makes notes in her secure datapad, encrypted reports that go directly to the Emperor. Subject displaying unusual restraint, possible psychological compromise. Recommend continued observation. She approaches Vader after the interrogation yields minimal results. The prisoners know nothing useful. We should execute them as examples and move on. Vader turns his masked face toward her. They are no threat. They will be imprisoned and transferred to a detention facility. Mara's jaw tightens. That is not how the Empire deals with rebels. Mercy is weakness. Vader's mechanical breathing fills the silence between them. Then he speaks, his voice low and dangerous. Do not presume to instruct me on how to conduct this mission, Hand. You are here to observe and assist, not to command. Mara meets, his gaze without flinching. And if my observations lead me to conclude you are compromised, that you are failing to carry out the Emperor's will, Vader steps closer, towering over her. Then you will report your findings to the Emperor, and he will decide my fate. Until then, I remain in command of this operation. Do I make myself clear? For a moment, Mara's hand drifts toward her lightsaber. The tension is palpable, but then she steps back and bows her head slightly. Perfectly clear, Lord Vader. She leaves, but Vader knows this confrontation has only strengthened her suspicions. Every act of mercy, every hesitation, is being documented and reported. Palpatine is watching him more closely than ever. He is being tested, and he is failing the test, at least from the Emperor's perspective. But perhaps failing Palpatine's test means passing a different one, a test of his own humanity. The hunt continues, and Vader follows the Force to a small planet called Tibrin, a water world in the Outer Rim. Intelligence suggests a rebel base is located there, and Vader senses Luke's presence strongly. The boy is there, and he knows Vader is coming. The Executor drops out of hyperspace above the planet, and Vader prepares to descend to the surface. Mara Jade insists on accompanying him, along with a squad of stormtroopers. But Vader senses this is a confrontation that must happen alone, or as alone as possible, with Mara watching his every move. They take a Lambda-class shuttle down to the surface, landing on a platform suspended above Tibrin's endless oceans. Rain falls in heavy sheets, the storm obscuring visibility. Vader steps out of the shuttle first, his cape billowing in the wind. And there, standing alone on the far side of the platform, is Luke Skywalker. The boy has changed since Cloud City. He carries himself with more confidence, more purpose. His green lightsaber hangs from his belt, ready but not yet drawn. He wears Jedi robes, black and flowing, a symbol of his commitment to the path. Vader approaches slowly, his footsteps heavy against the metal platform. Behind him, he senses Mara and the stormtroopers fanning out, taking positions. But his focus is entirely on his son. Luke, you should have run, boy. Why are you here? Luke's voice is steady. Because I wanted to see you again, to talk, to understand why you serve the Emperor so completely. Vader stops several meters away. You cannot understand. You are young, idealistic. You believe in redemption and hope. But I have walked in darkness for over 20 years. I have done things that cannot be undone, cannot be forgiven. Luke steps forward. Everyone can be forgiven. Everyone can choose a different path. You don't have to be Vader anymore. You can be Anakin Skywalker again. The name sends a jolt through Vader's body. That name no longer has meaning for me. Anakin Skywalker died on Mustafar, killed by his own weakness. Only Vader remains. Luke shakes his head. You're wrong. I don't believe Anakin died. I think he's been in prison all these years, trapped inside that armor, trapped by guilt and pain and the Emperor's manipulation. But you can break free. I know you can. I've felt your conflict. Vader's breathing intensifies. You speak of things you do not understand, boy. My master is the most powerful being in the galaxy. His will is absolute. I serve him because to oppose him is to die. Luke's expression hardens. Then it's a good thing I'm not afraid to die. Are you? Are you afraid of what he'll do if you betray him? Or are you more afraid of what you'll have to face if you break free? All the things you've done, all the people you've hurt. Maybe staying his servant is easier than taking responsibility for your own choices. The words cut deeper than any blade, because Luke is right. Vader has told himself for years that he serves Palpatine because he must, because the Emperor's power is too great to resist. But the truth is darker. Serving Palpatine gives Vader purpose, gives him a reason to exist. It allows him to avoid confronting the full weight of his crimes. As long as he is Vader, as long as he serves the dark side, he doesn't have to be Anakin Skywalker the failure, the man who destroyed everything he loved. Enough of this. I did not come here to debate philosophy. I came to capture you and bring you to the Emperor. Or, if you resist, to kill you. Those are my orders. Luke's hand moves to his lightsaber. Then let's see if you can follow through. His green blade ignites with a snap hiss. Vader hesitates for a fraction of a second, then draws his own crimson weapon. The two lightsabers cast strange shadows in the rain, green and red light dancing across the wet platform. For a moment, they simply stare at each other. Father and son, light and dark. Then Vader lunges forward, and the battle begins. Their lightsabers clash with a shower of sparks. Luke has improved significantly since Cloud City. His form is tighter, his movements more confident. He parries Vader's opening strikes and counters with quick thrusts, aimed at vulnerable points in Vader's armor. But Vader is still the superior warrior. Decades of experience guide every strike, every parry, every subtle shift of weight. He drives Luke back across the platform, their blades leaving trails of light in the rain. Luke channels the Force, leaping high to avoid a low sweep, then coming down with an overhead strike. Vader blocks, but the impact sends vibrations up his arms. The boy is strong, stronger than he was. His connection to the Force has deepened. Luke follows with a spinning slash that Vader narrowly avoids. You're holding back. Fight me with everything you have. Or admit that you don't want to kill me. Vader responds with a force push that sends Luke skidding across the wet platform. But he doesn't follow up, doesn't press his advantage when Luke is vulnerable. That hesitation is his mistake. Luke recovers quickly and launches himself forward with renewed intensity. His strikes come faster, more aggressive. He's not fighting defensively anymore. He's taking the offensive, pushing Vader back step by step. Their blades lock, and Luke looks into Vader's mask, his blue eyes blazing. I can feel your conflict. You don't want to do this. You don't want to hurt me. Vader breaks the lock and swings at Luke's side, but the boy twists away. I will do what I must. My duty to the Emperor supersedes everything. Luke ducks under another strike and comes up inside Vader's guard. His blade inches from Vader's chest, but he doesn't strike. He could. The opening is there, but instead he steps back, deactivating his lightsaber. I won't fight you anymore. Not like this. If you want to take me to the Emperor, then do it. I won't resist, but I won't help you destroy the good man you used to be either. Vader stands frozen, his lightsaber still ignited. Every instinct screams at him to strike, to capture the boy while he's vulnerable. This is what the Emperor commanded, what his duty demands. But he cannot make himself move. That's when everything changes. A blaster bolt screams through the rain toward Luke from above. Vader senses it an instant before impact, his danger sense flaring. His hand shoots out instinctively, and the bolt freezes midair, suspended by the Force. He looks up to see Mara Jade on a higher platform, her blaster aimed at Luke. Behind her, a full squad of stormtroopers have their weapons trained as well. They weren't sent just to accompany him. They were sent to ensure Luke Skywalker died, even if Vader hesitated. This is Palpatine's contingency, his backup plan, the Emperor's final test. Vader's rage explodes. He hurls the frozen bolt back at Mara, who barely dodges behind cover. Then he reaches into the Force and tears the platform from its moorings. The metal screams as it rips free, and the stormtroopers scream as they plummet toward the ocean far below. Mara leaps clear at the last second, using the Force to guide her landing near Vader and Luke. Her lightsaber ignites, the red blade identical to Vader's own. The Emperor's hand stands ready to fight, her expression cold and determined. The Emperor commands your death, Lord Vader. You have become compromised. A liability. Your attachment to the boy has made you weak. I am here to correct that weakness. Vader's blade comes up to meet hers. Then my master has made his final mistake. He attacks with sudden, overwhelming fury. His strikes are brutal, powerful, each one designed to batter through Mara's defenses. She is skilled, trained by Palpatine himself, in the art of combat. But she is not Vader. She does not have his raw power, his decades of experience, his mastery of both light and dark side techniques. Mara defends desperately, her blade moving in tight defensive patterns. She tries to use her agility to her advantage, darting in for quick strikes, then retreating. But Vader is relentless. He advances step by step, his attacks never slowing, never giving her a moment to breathe. When she tries to use Force lightning, he absorbs it into his cybernetic hand and redirects it back at her. The energy crackles across her body and she stumbles. Vader's next strike disarms her, sending her lightsaber flying into the ocean below. Mara falls to her knees, smoke rising from her robes where the lightning struck. She glares up at Vader with defiant eyes. The Emperor will make you pay for this betrayal. You cannot escape him. You are his, Vader. You will always be his. Vader raises his blade, prepared to end her. But then Luke's voice cuts through his rage. Don't. Please. If you kill her, you're proving her right. Proving that you're still the monster everyone thinks you are. Vader looks down at the woman at his mercy. How easy it would be to end her. How satisfying. But Luke is right. Killing Mara Jade proves nothing, except that he is still a slave to violence, to the dark side. He deactivates his lightsaber and steps back. Luke moves forward cautiously, keeping his own weapon ready in case Mara attacks again. But the Emperor's hand simply stares at them, her expression unreadable. Vader turns to her, his voice carrying the weight of his decision. Tell the Emperor that I am no longer his servant. Tell him that if he wants Luke Skywalker, he will have to come for him himself. And tell him that I will be waiting. Mara's eyes widen. You're declaring war on the Emperor. You're insane. He will destroy you. Vader looks at Luke, at his son standing there with hope in his eyes despite everything. Perhaps. But I will face destruction on my own terms, not as his slave. He uses the Force to lift Mara's unconscious body, placing her gently in the Lambda shuttle. She will recover and deliver his message. The stormtroopers are dead, fallen into the ocean. It is just Vader and Luke now, alone on the rain-soaked platform. The boy approaches him slowly. What happens now? Vader looks out over the endless water, considering. Now I must face the reality of what I have done. The Emperor will brand me a traitor. The Empire will hunt me. I will be an enemy to everything I have served for 2 decades. Luke steps beside him. Then come with me. Join the rebellion. Help us end this war. Fight against the Emperor, not for him. Vader turns to look at his son. You would have me fight beside you, after everything I have done to the rebels, after the lives I have taken? Luke meets his gaze steadily. Yes, because I believe in redemption, because I believe people can change. And because you're my father, I won't give up on you. Vader is silent for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice carries a weight of emotion the vocoder can barely contain. Then, we have much to discuss, my son. But know this, I am still Darth Vader, still a servant of the dark side. Redemption will not come easily. It may not come at all. Luke smiles slightly. Then we start with small steps. First step, stop working for the man who's trying to kill us both. You've already done that. Second step, help me get back to the rebel fleet. Vader considers this. The rebel fleet. They will not welcome me. Many will call for my execution on sight. They have every right to. Luke's smile widens. Let me handle that. I'm pretty good at changing people's minds when I need to be. Besides, you have something they need. Information. Intelligence about the Empire, about the Emperor's plans. That makes you valuable, even if they don't trust you. Vader looks at the shuttle, where Mara Jade lies unconscious. When she wakes and reports to the Emperor, his betrayal will be known across the galaxy. There will be no going back. He will be hunted by the Empire he helped build. His former servants, the Inquisitors and Darkside acolytes, will be sent to destroy him. Palpatine will mobilize every resource to ensure his death or recapture. But perhaps that is exactly what needs to happen. Perhaps he needs to be forced into a position where he cannot retreat back into darkness, where he must either embrace the light or die. Very well. Take me to your rebellion, but be prepared. There are those in your ranks who will want me dead. I will not fight them. If they demand my death as payment for my crimes, I will accept that fate. Luke's expression becomes serious. No one is going to execute you. Not if I have anything to say about it. But you're right that it won't be easy, especially for Leia. She has personal reasons to hate you. Vader's breath catches. Leia, the woman from Cloud City, the senator's daughter. Luke nods. She's more than that. She's my sister. Your daughter. We're twins, separated at birth to hide us from the Emperor. The revelation stuns Vader into silence. A daughter. He has a daughter. And she is Leia Organa, the woman he interrogated on the Death Star, the woman he tortured for information, the woman whose adopted planet he stood by and allowed to be destroyed. The weight of this knowledge crashes down on him like a physical force. His daughter, and he hurt her, terrorized her, proved himself a monster in her eyes. If she knows the truth, she must hate him beyond measure, and she has every right to. Does she know? Luke nods. I told her recently. She's still processing it. To say she's conflicted would be an understatement. But she's strong, and she believes in justice, in giving people chances. If you prove you've truly changed, she might be willing to listen. Might. That's all I can promise. Vader turns away, his mechanical breathing the only sound for a moment. Then that is more than I deserve. We should go before the Empire sends reinforcements. Luke's personal starfighter, an X-Wing, is hidden nearby. Vader's Star Destroyer, the Executor, looms in orbit above. He could return to it, could attempt to rally his forces, but he knows that's impossible. Palpatine's reach extends through the entire Imperial military structure. Anyone who remained loyal to Vader would be executed as a traitor. Better to let it go. Let the Empire he helped build hunt him. It is poetic justice in a way. They take Luke's X-Wing, Vader squeezed into the cramped astromech socket, since the fighter is designed for a single pilot. It is undignified, uncomfortable, and symbolic. Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, reduced to riding in the droid compartment of a rebel starfighter. But he endures it because this is his choice, his path forward. As they break orbit, Vader looks back at the Executor one final time. His command, his power, his identity for 2 decades. All of it left behind. The journey to the rebel fleet takes several hours through hyperspace. In the confined space of the X-Wing, conversation is limited. But Vader uses the time to meditate, to reach into the Force and examine his choices. He has betrayed Palpatine, the master he served for over 20 years. The master who saved him on Mustafar, who gave him purpose when he had none, who promised him the power to prevent death. But at what cost? Palpatine turned him into a weapon, a tool of terror, stripped away everything human about him, and forged him into Vader. And when Vader showed the slightest hint of independence, the slightest possibility of redemption, Palpatine moved to eliminate him. The Emperor's betrayal should not surprise him. Sith masters and apprentices always exist in a state of tension, each waiting for the opportunity to destroy the other. It is the way of the dark side, but it stings nonetheless. Because beneath the Sith philosophy, beneath the lies about power and strength, Vader wanted Palpatine's approval, wanted to prove he was worthy despite his failure, despite losing to Obi-Wan, despite everything. That desire for approval is pathetic, but it is also very human, and perhaps that is the point. Vader wanted to shed his humanity, to embrace the machine. But humanity persists. It always does. They drop out of hyperspace near the Rebel fleet's hidden location in the Endor system. Immediately, alarms blare in the X-Wing's cockpit. Multiple Rebel starfighters scramble to intercept them, their targeting computers locking onto the craft. Luke quickly broadcasts his identification codes and hails the fleet. "This is Commander Skywalker. I'm coming in with a guest, a very important guest. Hold your fire." The response is immediate and concerned. "Commander, identify your passenger." Luke hesitates. It's Darth Vader. He's defecting. He has critical intelligence about the Emperor and the Death Star. Request immediate clearance to land in the main hangar. The comm channel explodes with crosstalk. Multiple voices demanding confirmation, questioning Luke's sanity, calling for an immediate attack. But eventually, a familiar voice cuts through the chaos. "General Akbar here. Commander Skywalker, are you under duress? Is this a hostage situation?" Luke laughs despite the tension. "No, Admiral. I'm fine. Better than fine, actually. Vader has broken from the Emperor. He wants to help us." Akbar's skepticism is palpable even through the comm. "Help us. Darth Vader wants to help the rebellion. Forgive me if I find that difficult to believe." Vader activates his own comm link. "Admiral Akbar, this is Darth Vader. I understand your suspicion. My actions over the past 2 decades give you every reason to distrust me. But I am sincere in my offer. The Emperor has betrayed me and now seeks my death. My enemy is your enemy. And I possess intelligence that could end this war. The location of the Emperor's new superweapon, the deployment schedules of his fleet, the security vulnerabilities of his palace on Coruscant. I will give you everything in exchange for one thing: protection for my son." The comm is silent for a long, tense moment. Then Akbar's voice returns, cold and measured. "You will land in Hangar Bay 7. You will be surrounded by armed guards at all times. Any hostile action, and you will be terminated immediately. Is that understood?" Understood. The X-Wing is granted clearance, and they descend toward the massive Home 1, the Mon Calamari flagship that serves as the rebellion's mobile command center. As they enter the hangar, Vader sees the reception waiting for them. Dozens of armed rebel soldiers, their weapons trained on the X-Wing. Behind them, the rebellion's leadership stands in a loose formation. Admiral Akbar, Mon Mothma, General Madine, and others. And there, standing at the front with her arms crossed and her expression thunderous, is Leia Organa. Even through the canopy, Vader can feel her hatred radiating like heat. This will not be a pleasant reunion. The X-Wing lands and Luke pops the canopy immediately, climbing out with his hands raised in a peaceful gesture. Easy, everyone, he's here to help. One of the soldiers, a grizzled veteran, spits on the hangar floor. That's Darth Vader. He's killed hundreds of our people, thousands. Why the hell would we trust him? Luke looks at the man steadily. Because the enemy of our enemy is our friend, and because I'm vouching for him. Vader emerges from the astromech compartment with difficulty, his large frame not designed for such cramped spaces. As he straightens to his full height, every weapon in the hangar is aimed at him. He could kill them all with the Force before they managed to fire a single shot. He knows it, they know it, but he simply stands there, hands at his sides, making no threatening moves. He is putting himself at their mercy, trusting Luke that this will work, trusting his son the way he never trusted anyone else. Mon Mothma steps forward, her expression carefully neutral. Lord Vader, or should I call you Anakin Skywalker? Vader's vocoder crackles. Call me whatever you wish. Names are meaningless. What matters is my offer. I will provide you with everything you need to strike at the Emperor. In return, I ask for sanctuary and the opportunity to fight against the man who enslaved me for 2 decades. Mon Mothma's eyes narrow. Enslaved you? You were his willing servant, his enforcer. You carried out his orders without question. Vader's hands clench slightly. I believed I had no choice, that I was bound to him by power too great to resist. But I was wrong. There is always a choice. And I choose to fight him now. General Medine steps forward, his face red with anger. A choice? What about all the people who didn't have a choice when you killed them? What about the Jedi younglings you slaughtered at the temple? What about the countless innocents who died because of your actions? You expect us to just forget all of that? Vader turns his masked face toward the general. No, I expect nothing. I deserve nothing. But the galaxy deserves an end to the Emperor's reign, and I can help you achieve that. After that, I will face whatever punishment you deem fit. Execute me if you wish, but let me earn some small measure of redemption first. Leia has been silent throughout this exchange, but now she speaks. Her voice is ice. Redemption. That's what you want? Some fairy tale ending where you make up for all the evil you've done? It doesn't work that way. You don't get to be forgiven just because you had a change of heart. She steps closer, her eyes blazing. You tortured me. Stood by and watched as Tarkin destroyed my planet, my home, my family. Billions of people died and you did nothing. And now you want to be the hero. The room falls silent, everyone watching the confrontation between the princess and the Dark Lord. Vader meets her gaze, and when he speaks, his voice is quiet. You are right. I am not seeking to be a hero. I know what I am, what I have done. The blood on my hands will never wash away, but you are also my daughter, and though I have no right to ask anything of you, I will say this. I failed your mother, failed to protect her, failed to be the man she believed I could be. But perhaps I can keep you safe, can help end the war that has taken so much from you. That is all I ask. The chance to do something right before I die. Leia stares at him, her expression unreadable. Then she turns to Luke. This is insane. You know that, right? Trusting him is suicide. Luke shakes his head. I know what I felt, Leia. He's changed. Or at least, he's trying to change. That has to count for something. Leia laughs bitterly. Trying to change. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Should I forgive him because he's trying? Mon Mothma raises a hand, calling for calm. This decision is too important to make in the heat of anger. We should convene the council, hear what intelligence Vader offers, and then decide how to proceed. We cannot let emotion cloud our judgment, no matter how justified that emotion may be. The rebel leadership agrees, though many look deeply unhappy about it. Vader is escorted to a secure briefing room, surrounded by guards at all times. Luke stays close to him, acting as a buffer between his father and the rebels, who would gladly see him executed on the spot. The briefing room is small and functional, with a holographic projector in the center. Vader stands at the head of the table, while the rebel leaders sit. The dynamic is surreal. The Empire's most feared enforcer, presenting intelligence to his former enemies. Very well. I will tell you everything. The Emperor is overseeing the construction of a new Death Star above the forest moon of Endor. It is far more powerful than the first, capable of destroying entire fleets as well as planets. The Emperor is using it as bait to lure your fleet into a trap. He knows you cannot ignore such a threat. He intends to destroy the Rebel Alliance in one decisive battle. Admiral Akbar leans forward. How far along is the construction? Vader activates the holographic projector, displaying schematics of the Death Star. 3/4 complete. The main weapon is operational. The Emperor is personally overseeing the final stages, confident that his trap will succeed. General Medine studies the hologram. What about the shield generator? The first Death Star's weakness was the exhaust port. Surely they learned from that. Vader nods. Yes. This Death Star has no such vulnerability. However, it is protected by a shield generator on the forest moon's surface. Destroy the generator, and the station becomes vulnerable to a direct assault on its reactor core. The rebels exchange glances. This is valuable intelligence, perhaps too valuable. It could be a trap within a trap. Mon Mothma voices the concern everyone is thinking. Why should we trust this information? How do we know you're not leading us into an ambush? Vader is silent for a moment. Then he reaches up and deactivates the seals on his helmet. The hiss of escaping air is followed by the click of magnetic locks releasing. He lifts the mask away, revealing his scarred face for the first time. The rebels recoil slightly, shocked by the extent of his injuries. Pale, twisted skin, milky eyes, the ruin of what was once Anakin Skywalker. He sets the mask on the table between them. Because I am willing to be completely vulnerable before you. Without this mask, without my armor's life support, I can barely breathe. I am putting my life in your hands. That is my proof of sincerity. The room is utterly silent. Even Leia, who entered determined to hate him, looks shaken by the sight of his ruined face. Luke moves to his father's side, supporting him as his breathing becomes labored and painful. Father, put the mask back on. You don't need to prove anything. But Vader shakes his head slightly. Yes, I do. They need to see, need to know that I am not the invincible monster they fear, that I am a broken man seeking to make amends while I still can. He replaces the mask after several agonizing moments, the seals engaging with familiar hisses. His breathing returns to that mechanical rhythm. Mon Mothma's expression has softened slightly. That was a gesture of trust, a significant one. But trust must be earned, not given freely. If we accept your intelligence, if we plan an assault based on your information, what guarantee do we have that you won't betray us at a critical moment? Vader's vocoder carries a hint of exhaustion. You have no guarantee. You must simply decide whether the risk is worth the potential reward. I have given you everything you need to destroy the Death Star and strike at the Emperor. What you do with that information is your choice. Admiral Akbar stands, his expression thoughtful. I propose we verify the intelligence independently before committing to any action. Send reconnaissance missions to Endor. Confirm the Death Star's presence and the shield generator. If Vader's information proves accurate, we consider moving forward with an assault. General Medine nods agreement, and in the meantime, Vader remains under constant guard. No access to weapons, no unsupervised movement. If he makes any hostile action, he is to be terminated immediately. The motion is agreed upon by the Council. Vader will be confined to a secure location while his intelligence is verified. Luke objects. He's trying to help. You don't need to treat him like a prisoner. Leia's voice cuts through. He is a prisoner, Luke. One we're choosing not to execute, at least for now. But that doesn't make him part of the rebellion. It just makes him a useful asset. Luke looks between his sister and his father, frustration evident on his face. But he knows pushing harder will only make things worse. Fine. But I'm staying with him. If he's under guard, then I'm part of that guard. Mon Mothma considers this, then nods. Very well. You may accompany him. But Commander Skywalker, do not let your personal feelings compromise your judgment. If he proves to be a threat, you must be prepared to act. Luke's jaw tightens, but he nods. Understood. Vader is escorted to a secure holding area deep within the Home One structure. It's not quite a cell, more like a small quarters with heavy security. Guards are posted outside at all times, and Luke takes up position just inside the door. They are alone for the first time since arriving at the fleet, and the weight of everything that's happened settles over them. Vader sits on the simple bunk, his posture heavy with fatigue. That went better than expected. No one tried to execute me on sight. Luke manages a weak smile. The day's not over yet. Some of them are still considering it. Vader nods, as they should. I have caused immense suffering. Forgiveness is neither expected nor deserved, but perhaps I can earn the right to die with honor rather than as the Emperor's slave. Luke sits across from him. You're not going to die. Not if I have anything to say about it. We're going to stop the Emperor, destroy the Death Star, and end this war. And then you're going to help me rebuild the Jedi Order. Help me train the next generation. Teach them so they don't make the mistakes you did. Vader looks at his son, this idealistic young man who refuses to give up hope. It is Padmé's spirit in him, that unshakable belief in the goodness of people, in the possibility of redemption. You have your mother's optimism. Padmé always believed the best of people, even when they didn't deserve it. Luke leans forward. Tell me about her. About my mother. The Jedi never told me anything real. Just that she was a good person, that she died. But I want to know who she really was, what she was like. Did she love my father? Love you? Vader is silent for a long time. When he speaks, his voice is thick with emotion the vocoder can barely contain. She was everything. Beautiful, intelligent, compassionate. A senator who fought for peace and justice even in the darkest times of the Clone Wars. She believed in democracy, in the Republic, in the Jedi. And yes, she loved me. Loved me despite my flaws, my darkness, my fear. She tried to save me at the end. Came to Mustafar to bring me back from the dark side. And I repaid her love by attacking her, by turning my rage on the one person who never stopped believing in me. Luke's eyes are bright with unshed tears. The Emperor told me you killed her, in your anger. Vader nods slowly. Yes. I did not strike the killing blow directly. It was Obi-Wan's hand that wounded her during our duel. But my actions, my fall to the dark side, my attack on her, I destroyed her spirit, broke her heart. She lost the will to live, the medical droids said. And I was the cause. I have lived with that knowledge every day for over 20 years. Every breath I take through this mask is a reminder of what I destroyed. The grief in the room is palpable. Luke reaches out and places a hand on his father's armored shoulder. She didn't just die that day. She gave birth to me and Leia. Her last act was bringing us into the world. She could have given up, let the darkness take her, but she fought to give us life. That wasn't weakness, that was strength, and it means part of her lives on in us. So when you look at Leia and me, you're seeing Padme, her legacy, her hope for the future. Vader's shoulders shake slightly, a tremor running through his large frame. A Sith Lord crying, hidden behind a mask that shows nothing. But Luke can feel it through the Force, the raw emotion pouring from his father. Thank you, my son, for those words, for your faith. I do not know if I can ever truly be redeemed, but knowing that Padme's spirit lives on in you and your sister, that is something worth fighting for. Luke squeezes his shoulder. Then we fight. Together, father and son. We end the Emperor's reign and give the galaxy the peace my mother died hoping for. Vader reaches up and places his large gloved hand over Luke's. Together, days pass as Rebel scouts confirm Vader's intelligence. The Death Star is indeed above Endor, protected by a shield generator on the moon's surface. The Emperor has consolidated much of the Imperial fleet there, preparing for a decisive battle. Everything Vader told them checks out. This confirmation shifts the Rebel leadership's attitude slightly. Vader is upgraded from hostile prisoner to reluctant ally, though the guards remain and the distrust lingers. But now, they are willing to consider using him as part of the assault. A full council meeting is convened to plan the attack. The conference room aboard the Home One is packed with Rebel leadership, ship captains, squadron commanders, and ground force leaders. Holographic displays show the Death Star, the shield generator on Endor, and the positions of Imperial forces. Vader is brought in, still flanked by guards with weapons ready, but now allowed to participate in the strategic discussion. The atmosphere is tense. Many in the room have lost friends and family to Vader's actions. Seeing him here, consulting on their most important mission, sits wrong with them, but they cannot deny the value of his knowledge. The plan is straightforward in concept, but extraordinarily risky in execution. Admiral Akbar stands at the main holographic display, using a pointer to indicate key elements. A strike team will land on Endor's forest moon and infiltrate the shield generator complex. They will need to overcome Imperial defenses, plant explosives, and destroy the generator. The timing must be precise. Meanwhile, our fleet will engage the Imperial forces in orbit. This serves two purposes. First, it prevents the Imperials from reinforcing the ground team. Second, it positions us to strike the Death Star the moment the shield falls. He pauses, letting the enormity of what he's proposing sink in. Once the shield generator is destroyed, Gold Squadron and Red Squadron will assault the Death Star's reactor core. The station's superstructure is incomplete, leaving the core exposed. Our fighters will need to navigate through the Imperial fleet, enter the superstructure, and deliver torpedoes directly into the reactor. If successful, the resulting explosion will destroy the entire station. Admiral Akbar's large eyes sweep across the room. This strategy requires perfect timing and coordination across three fronts. If any single element fails, the entire mission collapses. If the ground team cannot destroy the shield generator, our fleet will be annihilated by the Death Star's super laser. If our fleet cannot hold position, the ground team will be overrun. If our fighters cannot destroy the reactor, everything is for nothing. General Lando Calrissian, recently promoted after his heroics, studies the tactical display. What about the Imperial fleet? We're outnumbered significantly. Even with the Death Star incomplete, they have hundreds of capital ships. How do we survive long enough for the shield to drop? Vader's mechanical voice cuts through the murmurs. The Imperial commanders are overconfident. They believe they have set an unbeatable trap. They will hold position near the Death Star, using it as both bait and fortress. They will not expect an aggressive assault. Use that. Wedge Antilles, commander of Red Squadron, speaks up. And once we're inside the superstructure, what kind of defenses should we expect? Vader activates a section of the hologram, zooming in on the Death Star's interior. The reactor core is here, deep within the station. You will need to navigate through approximately 12 kilometers of superstructure. There will be structural obstacles, energy beams, debris, and TIE fighters. Many TIE fighters. The space is too confined for capital ships, but fighters can operate there. You will be hunted every meter of the way. Another commander, a Salusta named Nyan Numb, asks about alternative approaches. Is there any other way to destroy the station? A weakness we can exploit from outside? Vader shakes his head. No. The Emperor learned from the first Death Star's destruction. This station has no exhaust ports, no external vulnerabilities. The only way to destroy it is from within. Han Solo, who will lead the ground team, leans forward. What about the shield generator? How many troops are defending it? Vader brings up another display showing the Endor installation. An entire legion, approximately 9,000 stormtroopers, supported by AT-ST walkers and possibly AT-ATs. The facility itself is heavily fortified, designed to withstand orbital bombardment. You will need to infiltrate past outer defenses, bypass their security systems, and reach the reactor core of the generator. Then destroy it completely. Partial damage will not suffice. Han whistles low. 9,000 troops. And how many do we have? About 40 commandos, Leia replies from beside him. Plus whatever local support we can recruit. The indigenous Ewoks are primitive but know the terrain. If we can gain their trust, they might help. Mon Mothma, presiding over the meeting, speaks with her characteristic calm. This mission carries enormous risk. We are committing our entire fleet, our best pilots, our most experienced soldiers. If we fail, the rebellion may not recover. But if we succeed, we end the war. The Emperor himself will be on that station, overseeing its completion. Kill him, destroy his superweapon, and the Empire collapses. The question before us is simple. Do we take this chance? Or do we retreat, regroup, and search for a safer opportunity that may never come? The room falls silent as everyone considers. Vader's voice, quiet but carrying, speaks into that silence. There will be no safer opportunity. The Emperor knows you exist, knows you are a threat. Every day you delay, he grows stronger. His intelligence network expands, his grip tightens. He will hunt you across the galaxy until you are destroyed. Your only path is forward. Attack now while you have surprise and momentum, or flee now and accept that you will spend the rest of your lives running. The words are harsh but true. Everyone in the room knows it. Admiral Akbar looks around the table, seeing determination on every face. Then we are agreed. We attack. May the Force be with us all, because we are going to need it. Vader studies the tactical display. The Emperor will expect a direct assault. He is arrogant, but not foolish. He will have contingencies in place. General Medine nods. which is why we need to minimize risk wherever possible. Vader, you know the Emperor's tactics better than anyone. Where will he position his forces? Vader considers. The bulk of the Imperial fleet will remain in close proximity to the Death Star, using it as both bait and fortress. Star destroyers in defensive formations, TIE fighter wings on constant patrol. He will also have ground forces on Endor's moon protecting the shield generator, likely an entire legion of his best troops. Leia, who has been silent throughout most of the meeting, speaks up. What about the Emperor himself? Will he be on the Death Star during the battle? Vader nods. Yes, he will be there, overseeing everything personally. It is his nature. He must be at the center of events, controlling them directly. That arrogance is his weakness. Leia's eyes narrow. Then we kill him. Send a team directly to the Death Star, fight through to the throne room, and end him. Vader turns his masked face toward her. You would face the Emperor in direct combat. He is the most powerful Sith Lord in history. Even I, at my full strength, could never defeat him alone. Luke interjects. But what if you're not alone? What if we go together? You, me, and a strike team. We infiltrate the Death Star while the battle rages, reach the Emperor, and end him once and for all. Cut off the head and the Empire collapses. The room erupts in argument. Some call the idea suicidal. Others see the strategic value. Mon Mothma raises her hand for silence. It is an incredible risk, but if successful, it could end the war in a single stroke. Lord Vader, what do you think? Can the Emperor be defeated in combat? Vader is quiet for a long moment. He reaches into the Force, feeling the currents of destiny swirling around this moment. He senses danger, death, immense pain, but also possibility. A chance, however slim, to end Palpatine's reign. If we strike together, if Luke and I combine our strength, there is a chance. A small one. But the Emperor will not be unprepared. He has been training new apprentices, dark side warriors, who serve him absolutely. We will face not just him, but everyone he has gathered to protect him. The odds are overwhelmingly against us. Luke stands. Then we increase the odds. We make this a coordinated assault. Ground team takes out the shield generator. Fleet engages the Imperial forces. Strike team goes after the Emperor. All three objectives pursued simultaneously. The Empire won't be able to respond to everything at once. Admiral Akbar shakes his head. We would be spreading our forces dangerously thin. If any one element fails, the entire operation collapses. But Mon Mothma looks thoughtful. And if all three succeed, we win the war. The risk is enormous, but so is the potential reward. I believe we must take it. We may not get another opportunity like this. The Council debates for hours, but eventually a consensus forms. They will attempt the three-pronged assault. General Han Solo will lead the ground team to Endor. Admiral Akbar will command the fleet engagement, and Luke, Vader, and a small team of elite rebel commandos will infiltrate the Death Star to confront the Emperor. It is desperate, audacious, and possibly suicidal. But it is also their best chance. Leia insists on being part of the ground team, despite Luke's protests. This is my fight too. I won't sit on the sidelines while you and him risk everything. Luke knows better than to argue with his sister when she has that look in her eyes. The days before the assault are spent in preparation. Luke trains intensely, honing his lightsaber skills and deepening his connection to the Force. He meditates with Vader, their minds touching through the Force in ways that would have been impossible weeks ago. Vader guides him, teaching him techniques the Jedi might have considered too aggressive, too close to the dark side. But Luke finds balance, taking what is useful while rejecting the corruption. He is forging his own path, neither purely Jedi nor Sith, but something new. Vader, for his part, struggles with his own training. He has relied on the dark side for so long that accessing the light feels foreign, almost painful. But Luke's presence helps. When they spar, when they meditate, Vader feels the chains of darkness loosening slightly. It is not redemption, not yet, but it is progress. And for the first time in decades, Vader dares to hope that change might be possible, that he might become something other than Palpatine's weapon. The night before the assault, Luke finds Leia alone in one of the observation decks. She is staring out at the stars, her expression distant. He approaches quietly and stands beside her. "Can't sleep either?" Leia shakes her head. "Every time I close my eyes, I see Alderaan, see it being destroyed, and I see him standing by, doing nothing to stop it. How am I supposed to get past that, Luke? How do I look at him and see anything other than the monster who let my world die?" Luke has no easy answer. "I don't know. Maybe you never completely get past it. Maybe the pain always stays. But you can choose what to do with that pain. Let it consume you, or use it to fight for something better, to make sure what happened to Alderaan never happens again." Leia's jaw tightens. He doesn't deserve forgiveness. Maybe not, but he deserves a chance to change, to become something better than what he was. And you deserve peace, Leia. You deserve to not carry that hate around for the rest of your life, because it's eating you up inside. I can feel it. Leia turns to him, tears in her eyes. "He's our father, Luke. How messed up is that? The man I hate most in the galaxy is my father." Luke pulls her into a hug. "I know. It's complicated and terrible and unfair, but it's also the truth. And maybe, just maybe, he can become the father we deserved, not the monster he was." She clings to him, her tears soaking into his shoulder. "I don't know if I can ever call him father, but if you believe in him, I'll try to trust your judgment. Just don't ask me to forgive him. Not yet. That's all I ask." The night before the assault, the rebel fleet is quiet. Everyone knows what's coming. Tomorrow they risk everything. Many will not survive. The pilots check their fighters obsessively, running diagnostics again and again. The ground team reviews their equipment, sharpening knives and cleaning blasters. The bridge crews study tactical displays until their eyes blur. No one sleeps well. How can they? This is it, the final battle. Everything they have fought for comes down to tomorrow. Luke finds Leia in one of the observation decks, staring out at the stars. She's holding a holopick he sees as he approaches. Their mother, Padme, young and smiling. "Where did you get that?" Luke asks softly. "Bail kept it. One of the few things that survived Alderaan's destruction. He always told me I looked like her, but I never really saw it until now." Luke sits beside her. "You do. You have her determination, her fire." Leia's smile is sad. "Do you think she'd be proud of us? Of what we've become?" Luke considers. "I think she'd be proud that we're fighting for what's right, that we're trying to build the kind of galaxy she believed in. Democracy, justice, peace. Not through domination, but through cooperation." Leia looks at the holopick again. "I wish I'd known her. Known both of them, really. Our real parents. Instead, I got raised by Bail and Breha, while you got raised by moisture farmers. And our father became a monster. Our family history is a disaster." Luke takes her hand. "But we're changing that. Tomorrow, we finish what our parents started. We defeat the Empire. We bring freedom back to the galaxy. That's what they would have wanted. That legacy is what matters." Leia squeezes his hand. Promise me something. If I don't make it tomorrow, if something happens on Endor, promise me you'll finish this. You'll see it through. Luke shakes his head. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're too stubborn to die. She laughs despite herself. Promise me anyway. He meets her eyes. I promise. But you have to promise me the same thing. If I don't make it, if Vader and I fail to stop the Emperor, you'll keep fighting. You'll lead the rebellion to victory somehow. She nods. I promise. They sit together in silence for a while, drawing strength from each other's presence. Tomorrow they may die, but tonight they are together, brother and sister, the children of Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala. And that is enough. Elsewhere on the ship, Han Solo finds Chewbacca in the cargo bay, working on the Millennium Falcon. The Wookiee is replacing a motivator, his massive hands surprisingly delicate as he works. Han watches for a moment, then speaks. Chewie, we need to talk. The Wookiee looks up and growls a question about tomorrow, about the mission. If something happens to me, if I don't make it back, I want you to know something. You're the best friend I ever had, the best partner. More than that, your family. Chewbacca's response is a long, mournful sound. Han holds up a hand. I know you're not going to let anything happen to me, but just in case things go wrong, take care of Leia, okay? Make sure she's safe. The Wookiee roars his agreement and pulls Han into a crushing hug. Han pats his friend's back. Okay. Let me breathe, you big furball. In the medical bay, Vader sits alone in meditation. Tomorrow, he will face Palpatine. Face the man who has controlled him for over 2 decades. The man who twisted him, shaped him, used him. He should feel fear, should feel doubt. But instead, there is only calm. He has made his choice, has chosen his son over his master, chosen redemption over power. Whatever happens tomorrow, he will face it without regret. The door opens and Luke enters. Vader looks up. My son, I did not expect you. Luke sits across from him. I wanted to check on you. See how you're feeling about tomorrow. Vader is quiet for a moment. Then he speaks, his voice thoughtful. I am ready. Ready to face Palpatine. Ready to die if that is what must happen. I have lived in darkness for so long. If I can die in light, that is more than I deserve. Luke leans forward. You're not going to die. We're going to win. We're going to defeat the Emperor and survive and build something better. Together. Vader looks at his son, this idealistic young man who refuses to give up hope even in the face of impossible odds. You are so much like your mother. She never stopped believing either, even when I gave her every reason to. Luke smiles. Then I guess we both take after her. And you're going to see that faith rewarded. Tomorrow, we end this. Together. The day of the assault arrives. The rebel fleet gathers at the rendezvous point, a hidden location in the Sullust system. Dozens of ships, representing the culmination of years of struggle. Mon Calamari cruisers, their organic curves bristling with weapons. Nebulon B frigates, Corellian corvettes, and hundreds of starfighters. X-wings, A-wings, B-wings, Y-wings. Every pilot knows this may be their final mission. The mood is somber but determined. They have lost so much. So many friends, so many worlds. But today, they have a chance to end it all. Vader stands on the bridge of the Home One, Admiral Akbar's flagship. He is flanked by Luke and a squad of 6 rebel commandos who volunteered to accompany them on the most dangerous part of the mission. These are veterans, soldiers who have survived countless battles. They eye Vader with a mixture of fear, hatred, and grudging respect. He wears his full armor, every plate polished to a black sheen, every system checked and rechecked. This may be his final battle. If so, he will face it as Vader one last time, before hopefully, impossibly, becoming Anakin Skywalker again. Around him, the bridge crew works with practiced efficiency. Rebel officers coordinate fleet movements, check weapons systems, review tactical data. Admiral Akbar stands at the center, his large eyes scanning multiple displays. The Mon Calamari commander has fought the Empire for years, losing his homeworld to Imperial occupation. He distrusts Vader absolutely, but he cannot deny the value of his intelligence. The plan they have developed is risky, but it may be their only chance. Luke stands beside his father, his expression calm despite the tension. He has grown so much since their first encounter on Cloud City. No longer the impulsive farm boy, but a Jedi in his own right. He wears black robes, a lightsaber at his belt, and carries himself with quiet confidence. He glances at Vader. "Are you ready for this?" Vader's mechanical breathing is steady. "I have been preparing for this moment since I saw through Palpatine's lies. Whether I am ready or not, it must be done." Luke nods. "Then let's finish this. Together." The fleet drops out of hyperspace above the forest moon of Endor. For a moment, there is silence as they take in the sight before them. The Death Star dominates the view, an artificial moon of impossible scale. But it's not alone. The Imperial fleet is waiting. Not dozens of Star Destroyers, as intelligence suggested. Hundreds. An armada unlike anything the Rebels have ever faced. Imperial-class Star Destroyers in perfect formation. Victory-class Star Destroyers filling the gaps. Interdictor cruisers preventing any escape into hyperspace. And surrounding them all, swarms of TIE fighters. Thousands upon thousands of them, a cloud of death. It's a trap. Akbar's voice carries the realization that strikes everyone at once. The Emperor has been waiting for them, has gathered the full might of the Imperial Navy here. This was never going to be a raid. It was going to be the rebellion's last stand. But before panic can set in, before the order to retreat can be given, Vader steps forward. His deep voice cuts through the rising chaos. "We knew this might be a trap, but we have no choice. If we run now, the Emperor will hunt us across the galaxy. The Death Star will be completed and used to destroy every world that opposes him. Our only path is forward." Admiral Akbar looks at him, then at Luke, then back at the massive Imperial fleet. His tactical mind is already calculating odds, escape routes, survival probabilities. They are all terrible. But Vader is right. Running accomplishes nothing. He turns to his crew. "All craft commence attack. Concentrate fire on the Star Destroyers." The order is relayed across the fleet, and the rebel ships surge forward. The battle begins with a fury that shakes the void itself. X-Wings and A-Wings dart ahead, their superior speed allowing them to engage first. They weave between the massive capital ships, their laser cannons targeting shield generators, weapon emplacements, sensor arrays. Red and green bolts crisscross space in deadly patterns. TIE fighters swarm to meet them, and the dogfights begin in earnest. The void fills with explosions as ships are destroyed on both sides. An X-Wing disintegrates under sustained TIE fire. A B-Wing's torpedo run succeeds, destroying an Imperial weapons platform. A Y-Wing takes a hit and spins out of control, crashing into a TIE fighter and destroying them both. The capital ships engage with devastating broadsides. The Home One's turbo laser batteries open fire. Green energy bolts the size of land speeders slamming into the shields of an Imperial Star Destroyer. The Star Destroyer returns fire. red turbolaser blasts tearing across space. One strikes a rebel frigate, punching through its shields and vaporizing a section of hull. Atmosphere vents into space, carrying bodies and debris. The frigate lists to one side, secondary explosions rippling across its surface. Another Mon Calamari cruiser, the Liberty, engages two Star Destroyers simultaneously. Its shields hold under the punishing fire, but barely. Captain Nance, commanding the Liberty, orders all power to forward shields and presses the attack. His ship's ion cannons fire in sequence, blue lightning arcing across space to disable one Star Destroyer's systems. The massive Imperial vessel goes dark, drifting helplessly. But the second Star Destroyer concentrates fire on the Liberty's weakened rear shields. They collapse, and turbo laser fire tears into the engine section. The Liberty explodes in a brilliant fireball that briefly outshines the stars. On the bridge of the Home One, Vader watches the carnage unfold. He has commanded fleet actions before, has seen battles on this scale, but always from the Imperial side, always with the overwhelming advantage of superior numbers and firepower. Now he stands with the underdogs, the rebels fighting against impossible odds. He feels each death through the Force, both rebel and Imperial. Young pilots full of hope, veteran officers executing their duty, all of them dying in this meat grinder of a battle. And for what? For Palpatine's vision of order, for the rebels' dream of freedom, or simply because neither side can afford to back down. Luke grips the railing beside him, his knuckles white. So many dying. There has to be a way to stop this. Vader turns to him. There is. Kill the Emperor. Cut off the head and the body dies. Everything depends on us reaching him. Luke nods, forcing himself to look away from the battle's carnage. Then, we need to move. Now, while the fleet has the Empire's attention, Vader turns to the commandos. It is time. Follow me. They board a captured Imperial shuttle, a Lambda-class transport that saw service in the Imperial Navy before being seized by rebel forces. The pilot, a former Imperial officer who defected, knows the protocols and procedures intimately. As they lift off from the Home One's hangar, Vader moves to the cockpit. He inputs the clearance, codes himself, codes that should grant them access to the Death Star. Should. If Palpatine has changed them, if he has anticipated this move, they will be destroyed before ever landing. The shuttle maneuvers through the chaotic battle. TIE fighters scream past, engaged with rebel starfighters. A Star Destroyer explodes off their port side, its reactor going critical after sustained torpedo bombardment. The shockwave rocks the shuttle, but the pilot maintains control. They approach the Death Star, and the comm crackles to life. Shuttle Lambda 72, transmit your clearance code. This is a restricted area. All unauthorized craft will be destroyed. Vader's mechanical voice responds, steady and authoritative. Transmitting now. Code sequence, Alpha 7 Niner, Delta Omega 3. This is Lord Vader on Imperial business. Grant immediate clearance. There is a pause. A long, agonizing pause where everyone holds their breath. The shuttle is completely vulnerable. If the clearance fails, the Death Star's defensive batteries will vaporize them in seconds. Then the response comes. Clearance confirmed, Lord Vader. Proceed to Hangar Bay 327. You are expected. Expected. The word confirms what they all know. This is a trap. Palpatine knows they're coming, has known all along, is probably watching them right now through the Force, smiling that cruel smile. But they press on because there is no alternative. The shuttle passes through the magnetic field into the hangar. The bay is massive, designed to accommodate multiple Imperial shuttles and TIE fighters. But it is nearly empty. Only a handful of technicians working on some distant craft. No security detail waiting, no stormtrooper presence. The abandonment is eerie and ominous. The shuttle lands and the ramp lowers. Vader leads them out, his cape billowing behind him. They are dressed for infiltration. The commandos wear stormtrooper armor taken from captured Imperials. Luke wears a dark cloak, hood raised, disguising his identity. They move quickly across the hangar toward the nearest exit. One of the technicians glances their way, sees Vader's distinctive silhouette, and immediately looks away. No one wants to attract Darth Vader's attention, even if he is technically a traitor now. The fear he instilled over 2 decades does not fade quickly. They enter the corridor system, and Vader immediately senses the wrongness. These halls should be filled with personnel, officers hurrying to meetings, technicians performing maintenance, stormtroopers on patrol. Instead, there is almost no one. The few people they encounter take one look at Vader and hurry in the opposite direction. It is as if the Emperor has cleared the entire station, creating a direct path to the throne room, creating a stage for the final confrontation. Move quickly. The Emperor knows we are here. He has been expecting us. Luke looks at his father, his hand instinctively moving toward his concealed lightsaber. How can you be sure? Vader gestures at the empty corridors around them. Because this station should be teeming with life. Thousands of personnel maintaining its systems, preparing it for operation. Instead, look around you. Silence. Emptiness. He has cleared our path. He wants us to come to him, wants this confrontation on his terms. One of the commandos, a scarred veteran named Kess, speaks up. Then this is definitely a trap. We should abort, find another way. Vader shakes his head. There is no other way. We cannot retreat now. The fleet is engaged. If we fail to stop the Emperor, everyone out there dies. Our only path is forward. Luke looks at his father, then at the commandos. He's right. We knew this would be dangerous. But we have to try. For everyone fighting out there. For everyone who's died fighting the Empire. We have to finish this. They move deeper into the Death Star, following Vader's lead through the labyrinthine corridors. The station is a marvel of Imperial engineering. Massive power conduits run along the ceiling, feeding the superlaser. Computer terminals display readouts in Aurebesh. The hum of machinery is constant, a reminder that despite the lack of personnel, this place is very much alive. Dangerous. A weapon pointed at the heart of the rebellion, and somewhere at its center sits the Emperor, waiting for them to arrive. They descend several levels, using turbolifts and maintenance shafts. The architecture shifts as they go deeper. The outer levels were stark and utilitarian, but here, closer to the Emperor's throne room, there is a different aesthetic. Dark metal, red lighting, the decor of the dark side. Vader leads them through these oppressive corridors with the certainty of someone who knows every turn, every pathway. He has been here before, has walked these halls as the Emperor's enforcer. Now he returns as his enemy. They encounter their first real resistance in a junction where 3 corridors meet. A squad of stormtroopers, 12 of them, blocking the path ahead. Behind them stand 2 Imperial officers and a figure in black. An Inquisitor, a dark side user trained by Palpatine specifically to hunt Jedi. The Inquisitor's presence in the Force is unmistakable. Cold, hungry, eager for violence. His red-bladed lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss that echoes off the metal walls. Lord Vader. The Inquisitor's voice drips with contempt. Or should I call you traitor? The Emperor has given me the honor of stopping you here, of ending your pathetic attempt at redemption. Vader's own blade ignites in response, the crimson glow bathing the corridor in blood-red light. Then you will die for that honor, Inquisitor. I have killed greater warriors than you. The Inquisitor's laugh is harsh. We shall see, old man. The Emperor has trained me in the ways of the dark side. I am everything you once were, everything you failed to remain. The Inquisitor gestures to the stormtroopers. Kill the others. Vader and Skywalker are mine. The corridor explodes into violence. Blaster bolts fly in all directions as the commandos return fire. The stormtroopers are well trained, taking cover behind columns and structural supports. Their fire is disciplined, coordinated. 2 commandos go down in the first exchange, their borrowed armor no match for concentrated fire at close range. The others dive for cover, returning fire when they can. Luke ignites his lightsaber and moves to the front, his green blade deflecting incoming bolts. He protects the commandos, giving them cover to advance. But the Inquisitor is already moving, closing the distance with force-enhanced speed. He leaps over the firefight entirely, his black robes billowing, and lands directly in front of Vader. Their blades crash together with a shower of sparks, and the real duel begins. The Inquisitor fights with the aggressive fury of youth. His strikes are fast, brutal, designed to overwhelm. He spins his blade in complex patterns, attempting to batter through Vader's guard. But Vader is a master, his experience far exceeding this younger warrior's. He parries each attack with minimal movement, his defense economical and precise, conserving energy, waiting for the inevitable opening. The Inquisitor snarls and increases his tempo, his blade becoming a blur of red light. Strike after strike rains down on Vader, each one powerful enough to shatter stone. But Vader's defense holds. His blade is always where it needs to be, intercepting attacks with perfect timing. The Inquisitor begins to realize he's not breaking through, begins to understand that he's facing one of the greatest duelists in galactic history. His confidence wavers, and Vader senses it, senses the fear creeping in beneath the bravado. He sidesteps the next attack and responds with a single, devastating counterstrike. His blade cuts upward in a sharp arc. The Inquisitor barely blocks it, but the force of the impact drives him back several steps. His arms tremble from the shock. Luke joins the fight, moving to flank the Inquisitor. His green blade adds to the assault, and suddenly the dark side warrior finds himself facing both Skywalkers. Their attacks are coordinated in a way that speaks of deep connection. Father and son, united through the Force. When Vader strikes high, Luke strikes low. When Luke feints left, Vader attacks right. The Inquisitor defends desperately, his blade moving in tight defensive circles. All his earlier confidence is gone, replaced by the growing realization that he is outmatched. You cannot win. The Inquisitor's voice cracks with stress. The Emperor has foreseen all outcomes. Your rebellion ends today. Luke's response is calm, focused. The future isn't written by prophecy. It's written by choices, and we choose to fight. He presses forward with renewed intensity, his strikes coming faster. The Inquisitor parries desperately, giving ground with each exchange. Vader adds his power to the assault, his blade work relentless. The 2 Skywalkers move in perfect synchronization, a storm of light and movement that the Inquisitor cannot weather. The end comes quickly. Luke's blade slips past the Inquisitor's guard, scoring a hit across his side. The dark warrior staggers, pain exploding across his face. Vader's follow-up strike disarms him, sending his lightsaber clattering across the floor. The Inquisitor drops to his knees, clutching his wounded side. He looks up at Vader with hatred and fear warring in his eyes. Do it. Kill me. Prove you're still Vader. Still the monster everyone knows you are. Vader stands over him, blade raised for the killing blow. It would be so easy, so satisfying, to end this warrior who serves the Emperor, who represents everything Vader once was. But he feels Luke's presence beside him, feels his son's eyes watching, waiting to see what choice he makes. And Vader knows this is a test, not one imposed by Palpatine or the rebels, but one he imposes on himself. Can he choose mercy over violence? Can he be something other than a killer? He deactivates his lightsaber. The Inquisitor stares at him in shock. What? Why? Vader's voice is quiet, but firm. Because killing you accomplishes nothing. You were a pawn, as I was, a tool shaped by Palpatine's manipulation. But you can choose differently. You can reject the dark side. Reject him. The Inquisitor laughs bitterly. I can't. I'm bound to him, body and soul. There is no escape. Vader turns away. Then remain here and contemplate your fate. But I will not be your executioner. The firefight around them has concluded. The stormtroopers lie dead or incapacitated, victims of the commando's superior tactics, despite inferior numbers. But the cost has been terrible. 4 of their 6 commandos are down. Only 2 remain. Kess, the scarred veteran, has a blaster burn across his shoulder, but is still functional. The other, a young woman named Jane, is limping from a shot that grazed her thigh. They can continue, but barely. Every step is paid for in blood. They press onward through the maze of corridors. More patrols, more Inquisitors. Each encounter whittles down their numbers further. The commandos fight with desperate courage, trading their lives to buy time. Kess goes down protecting Luke from a flanking stormtrooper squad. His last words are a defiant shout about freedom. Jane sacrifices herself to cover their retreat from an ambush, holding a choke point against overwhelming fire until her position is overrun. Each death weighs on Luke like a stone. These people died because of him, because he convinced them this mission was necessary. By the time they reach the turbo lift that will take them to the throne room level, only Luke and Vader remain. The commandos are all dead, their bodies left behind in the Death Star's cold corridors. Luke stares back the way they came, his face etched with grief. They deserved better than this, better than to die in this metal tomb. Vader's hand rests briefly on his son's shoulder, the gesture awkward but genuine. They gave their lives for a cause they believed in. The best we can do is ensure their sacrifice was not in vain. We end this. Today, we kill the Emperor and give meaning to their deaths. Luke nods, forcing down his emotions. He reaches for the calm center Master Yoda taught him. Emotion is natural and powerful, but it must be controlled, channeled, made purposeful. Not suppressed like the old Jedi way, but balanced. He takes a deep breath, and his expression clears. Let's finish this. They enter the turbo lift and the doors close behind them with a hiss. As the lift begins to ascend, Vader speaks quietly, his mechanical breathing the only other sound. When we face the Emperor, you must be prepared for anything. His power exceeds anything you've encountered. He will attack your mind as well as your body. Will try to turn you, to use your emotions against you. Your anger over the dead commandos, your fear for me, your hope for the future. All of it will be weaponized. Luke meets his father's gaze through the mask. I understand, but I'm not going to fight him with pure Jedi serenity. I'm going to fight him with everything I am. Anger, fear, hope, love, all of it. That's what makes us strong. Not suppressing emotion, but accepting it and choosing how to use it. Vader is silent for a moment, processing this philosophy that is so different from either the Jedi or Sith teachings. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps that is the true balance the prophecy spoke of. Not pure light or pure dark, but the synthesis of both. The recognition that we are all capable of great good and great evil, and that our choices define us. The turbo lift arrives at the upper level with a soft chime. The doors open to reveal a long corridor lined with red Imperial guards. The Emperor's elite protectors stand in 2 perfect rows, their crimson armor gleaming under harsh overhead lights. Each one holds a force pike at attention, the ceremonial weapons crackling with energy. There are at least 20 of them, warriors trained from childhood in combat, fanatically loyal to Palpatine. At the far end of the corridor, perhaps 100 meters away, massive doors lead to the throne room. The guards do not move as Vader and Luke step out of the turbo lift. They simply watch with the stillness of statues, waiting. "We should take them out now while we have the advantage," Luke suggests, his hand moving toward his lightsaber. Vader shakes his head. It would make no difference. These guards are merely ceremonial at this point. The Emperor wants us to reach him. Fighting them only delays the inevitable and wastes our strength. Save your energy for what's coming. Trust me, Luke. We will need every ounce of power we possess for the battle ahead. Luke nods and they begin walking down the corridor, passing between the 2 rows of silent guards. It is profoundly unnerving, this walk through enemy ranks. Each guard is a deadly warrior, capable of killing even a Jedi in single combat. 20 of them could overwhelm Luke and Vader easily if they chose to attack. But they remain motionless as statues, their expressionless helmets betraying nothing. Luke can feel their presence in the Force, disciplined and controlled. They are extensions of the Emperor's will, weapons given human form. If ordered to fight, they would do so without hesitation or mercy. But their orders, apparently, are to let them pass, to allow the final confrontation to proceed. They reach the throne room entrance, and the massive doors begin to slide open. The sound is deep and ominous, grinding metal that echoes through the corridor, like the opening of a tomb. Beyond lies a vast circular chamber, easily 50 meters in diameter. The ceiling is lost in shadow high above. But the most striking feature is the viewports. Massive transparasteel windows that offer a panoramic view of the battle raging outside. Luke can see everything. Rebel and Imperial ships locked in deadly combat. Explosions blooming in the void. The Death Star's superlaser charging, its green glow building, and thousands dying in the crossfire. And at the center of it all, seated on a raised throne, overlooking the carnage like a dark god observing his domain, is Emperor Palpatine. Move quickly. The Emperor knows we are here. He has been expecting us. Luke looks at his father. How can you be sure? Vader gestures toward the eerily empty corridors. Because this station should be teeming with personnel. Instead, it is a ghost ship. He has cleared our path. He wants us to come to him. Luke grips his lightsaber. Then we don't disappoint him. The group moves through the Death Star's corridors, and Vader's prediction proves accurate. They encounter minimal resistance. A few stormtrooper patrols that are easily avoided or eliminated. It's too easy. One of the commandos voices what everyone is thinking. This is a trap. Of course it's a trap, Vader replies. But we have no choice but to spring it. They reach a turbo lift that will take them toward the throne room. As the doors close and they begin their ascent, Vader speaks quietly to Luke. When we face the Emperor, you must let me engage him first. His power is beyond anything you've encountered. He will try to turn you, to use your emotions against you. Be prepared. Luke nods. I will. But remember, we're fighting him together. You're not alone anymore. The turbo lift arrives and the doors open to reveal a long corridor, lined with red Imperial guards. The Emperor's elite protectors stand motionless, their crimson armor gleaming in the harsh lights. At the far end of the corridor, massive doors lead to the throne room. The guards do not attack. They simply watch as Vader and Luke walk forward. We should take them out now while we have the advantage, one of the commandos suggests. Vader shakes his head. It would make no difference. These guards are merely ceremonial at this point. The true battle awaits beyond those doors. They reach the throne room entrance, and the massive doors slide open with ominous finality. Beyond lies a vast circular chamber, with massive viewports showing the space battle raging outside. Rebel and Imperial ships exchange fire, explosions blooming like deadly flowers. And at the center of it all, seated on his throne, is Emperor Palpatine. He looks exactly as Vader remembers, ancient, wizened, with yellow eyes that burn with dark side power. But there is something different about him now. Attention, a wariness. He knows Vader has betrayed him, and it has shaken his confidence. Welcome, Lord Vader. Or should I call you traitor? And young Skywalker, how good of you to deliver yourself to me. The Emperor rises from his throne, his movements slow and deliberate. I have foreseen your arrival. This confrontation was inevitable from the moment you chose your son over your master. Such sentimentality, such weakness. Vader ignites his lightsaber, the crimson blade casting red light across his armor. I am no longer your servant, Palpatine, no longer your slave. Today, your reign ends. The Emperor laughs, a cruel mocking sound. Ends? You think you can defeat me? I made you, Vader. Everything you are, I created, and what I created, I can destroy. Luke steps forward, his own green blade igniting. He's not alone. And you're not as invincible as you think. Palpatine's smile widens. Ah, the boy. So much like your father in his youth, full of passion and conviction. Tell me, young Skywalker, has he told you the truth about your mother? About how she died? Luke's jaw tightens. I know the truth. He killed her, but he was manipulated into it. By you. The Emperor spreads his hands in mock innocence. Manipulated? No, my dear boy. I simply showed him the truth. Showed him that the Jedi were his enemies, that they would take everything from him unless he struck first. Every choice he made freely. I merely provided opportunities. Vader's grip on his lightsaber tightens. You orchestrated everything. The visions of Padme dying, the doubts you planted about the Jedi, the scenario where I had to choose between her and them. All of it was your design. Palpatine inclines his head. Of course it was. I am a master of the long game, Lord Vader. Every event, every tragedy, every triumph in your life, I shaped to serve my purposes. Your fall was not an accident. It was an inevitability. And your redemption is equally impossible. You are too stained by darkness to ever return to the light. Luke speaks up, his voice strong. You're wrong. Redemption is always possible. My father has chosen to fight you, chosen to stand with me. That choice matters more than all the darkness in his past. Palpatine's expression hardens. Then you are both fools. And fools must be educated before they die. He raises his hands, and Force lightning erupts, not at Vader or Luke, but at the rebel commandos who entered with them. They scream as the energy tears through their bodies, convulsing before they collapse, lifeless. The brutality of it is shocking. a casual display of the Emperor's power and his contempt for life. Luke roars in rage and charges forward. Palpatine's lightning shifts to him, striking his lightsaber. Luke channels the Force, using his blade to absorb the energy, but the power behind it drives him to his knees. The Emperor's lightning is overwhelming, far beyond anything Luke has trained for. Each bolt feels like being struck by a star. His muscles lock up. His skin burns. He struggles to hold the blade steady as electricity arcs around him, searing his robes and leaving black scorch marks across his arms and chest. The pain is indescribable, but he grits his teeth and endures. He cannot fall. Too many depend on him. Vader lunges at his master while he's focused on Luke, his crimson blade cutting through the air in a deadly arc. Palpatine senses the attack at the last instant and releases Luke, spinning to meet Vader's assault. Their lightsabers clash with an explosion of energy that cracks the floor beneath them. The throne itself splits in half, toppling to the side. Palpatine fights with a savagery Vader has rarely seen from him. His ancient body moves with supernatural speed that defies its apparent age. His blade becomes a blur of crimson light, striking from impossible angles. You were my greatest achievement, Anakin. I took a slave boy from a desert wasteland and made him into the most feared being in the galaxy. Gave you power beyond imagination. And this is how you repay me. With betrayal. Vader presses his attack, his strikes heavy and relentless. Each blow carries the weight of decades of hatred and pain. I repay you by ending your tyranny, by freeing myself from your lies, by choosing my son, my family, over your darkness. Palpatine parries the strikes, but gives ground for the first time, forced back by the sheer power behind Vader's attacks. Your son? The child is a tool, nothing more. Just as you were a tool. You think choosing him makes you noble, makes you redeemed. You are still the monster who slaughtered the Jedi, who murdered children. No amount of sentiment erases that stain. The words cut deep because they are true. Vader knows what he is, knows what he has done, but he also knows that wallowing in that guilt accomplishes nothing. I do not seek absolution. I seek only to end your reign and prevent you from hurting anyone else. If that requires I die in the process, so be it. At least I will die free. Palpatine laughs, a sound like grinding glass. Free? You think you can be free? He lashes out with the Force, lifting Vader off the ground and slamming him against the viewport port. The transparent steel cracks from the impact. Outside, the space battle continues. A rebel frigate explodes in the distance, its reactor breaching. Vader can feel the deaths through the Force, hundreds of souls extinguished in an instant. The Emperor continues his assault, his lightning now aimed at Vader's damaged armor. The electricity crackles across the suit, frying circuits and causing systems to spark and fail. Vader's breathing becomes ragged, labored. You are mine, Anakin. You will always be mine. I made you. I own you, body and soul. And now I will unmake you. Strip away everything until only ash remains. But before Palpatine can deliver the finishing blow, Luke recovers. The young Jedi has been gathering his strength, centering himself in the Force. He thinks of his mother, Padme, who died believing there was good in Anakin, who loved him despite his darkness. He thinks of Obi-Wan Kenobi, his first teacher, who gave his life to ensure Luke could escape the Death Star. He thinks of Yoda, the ancient Jedi Master, who trained him despite his doubts about Luke's ability to resist the dark side. He thinks of Leia, his sister, fighting on the surface of Endor, fighting for freedom, for justice, for hope. He thinks of all the people across the galaxy who suffer under Imperial tyranny. all the slaves like his grandmother Shmi, all the oppressed like the people of Alderaan. And he channels that connection, that web of relationships and shared struggle, into a surge of pure force power. The wave of energy slams into Palpatine with the force of a tidal wave. The Emperor's concentration breaks, and he releases Vader, who drops to the floor, gasping. Palpatine staggers back several steps, genuine surprise flashing across his ancient features. So, the boy has power after all, considerable power. The dark side is strong in your bloodline. You could be even greater than your father was. Join me, young Skywalker. Together, we will rule the galaxy, bring order to chaos, peace through power. It is your destiny. Luke's voice is steady as he stands, his lightsaber held in a defensive guard. My destiny is my own, not yours to dictate, not anyone's. The Emperor's smile widens. Such conviction, such certainty. But certainty is a luxury afforded only to the naive. Let me show you what true power looks like, what you could become if you embraced your full potential. He unleashes his full strength, no longer holding back. Lightning and force attacks pour from him in devastating waves. The throne room becomes a maelstrom of dark side energy. The air itself crackles and distorts. Loose debris lifts off the floor, spinning in the vortex of power. The viewports crack and splinter under the pressure. Luke and Vader stand together, fighting side by side. Their combined strength barely holds against the onslaught. Luke's lightsaber moves in desperate defensive patterns, deflecting lightning bolts that could vaporize him. Vader uses his own command of the Force to create barriers, protecting them both. But they are being driven back, step by step, toward the viewport, toward the void beyond. Palpatine advances on them, his hands outstretched, dark side energy pouring from his fingertips like water from a broken dam. You cannot defeat me. I am eternal. I am the dark side made flesh. I have lived for nearly a century, accumulating power, knowledge, mastery. What are you compared to that? A broken slave and an untrained boy. Outside the viewport, the space battle reaches its crescendo. A Star Destroyer, its shields collapsed under sustained rebel fire, lists to one side and crashes into another Imperial vessel. The collision creates a massive explosion that briefly illuminates the throne room in harsh white light. Rebel starfighters dive and weave through the chaos, pressing their advantage now that the tide has turned. But the cost has been terrible. Dozens of rebel ships drift as lifeless hulks, their crews dead or dying. The Home One itself is heavily damaged, fires burning across multiple decks. This battle will be won or lost not by superior tactics, but by sheer determination and willingness to sacrifice. Meanwhile, on Endor's surface far below, another battle unfolds. Han Solo's strike team has been fighting through the forest for hours, engaged in a running firefight with Imperial scout troopers. The team is exhausted, low on ammunition, and suffering casualties. But they press on because failure is not an option. If they cannot destroy the shield generator, the entire rebel fleet will be annihilated. The mission is everything. Leia leads a flanking maneuver, her blaster taking down 2 scout troopers who were attempting to circle behind them. Her marksmanship is perfect despite her fatigue. Years of combat have honed her instincts. She dives behind a massive tree as return fire stitches the ground where she stood moments before. Beside her, an Ewok warrior named Wicket signals with his primitive spear. He has spotted the shield generator complex ahead, a massive Imperial installation built into a clearing. It is surrounded by walls, guard towers, and dozens of stormtroopers. Attacking it directly would be suicide. But the Ewoks have a plan. They know this forest better than anyone, know every path, every hidden approach. and they have constructed traps throughout the area. Simple but effective devices using logs, rocks, and vines. What they lack in technology, they make up for in cunning and home field advantage. The assault begins with Ewok war horns echoing through the trees. The primitive sound is incongruous with the high-tech warfare, but it serves its purpose. The stormtroopers turn toward the noise, confused. That's when the first trap springs. A massive log, suspended by vines and released by Ewok warriors, swings down and smashes into a squad of stormtroopers. Their armor provides no protection against the sheer kinetic force. Bodies are hurled through the air like broken dolls. Before the Imperials can regroup, more traps activate. Nets drop from the trees, entangling soldiers. Pits concealed beneath forest debris swallow entire squads. Han Solo uses the chaos to advance with his team. They move through the tree line, using Ewok-cleared paths that avoid the Imperial sensors. Chewbacca's bowcaster roars, each shot taking down a stormtrooper with lethal efficiency. The Wookiee fights with the fury of his species, protecting his friends with single-minded determination. They reach the bunker entrance where the shield generator controls are housed. It is sealed with a massive blast door, designed to withstand orbital bombardment. But every fortress has a weakness. Han produces the Imperial codes they acquired from Vader. The question is whether they still work, or if Palpatine has changed them, anticipating this very scenario. Han inputs the code with steady hands despite his racing heart. The keypad beeps as it processes. Everyone holds their breath. If this fails, they will have to find another way in, costing precious time they do not have. Then, miraculously, the blast door begins to cycle open. The codes worked. Inside, Imperial officers and technicians scramble for weapons, but they are too slow. The strike team pours in, blasters firing. The control room becomes a battlefield. Leia takes down 3 officers with precise shots. A rebel demolitions expert rushes to the generator controls and begins setting charges. They need to destroy this facility completely, ensure it cannot be quickly repaired. But the Empire is not done yet. Reinforcements arrive. An entire company of stormtroopers, supported by ATST walkers. The mechanical bipeds stride through the forest, their weapons tearing through trees. The rebels are pinned down, caught between the control room and the advancing Imperials. This is it, the moment where they win or die. Han looks at Leia, sees his own fear reflected in her eyes, but also her determination. If we die fighting. For the rebellion, for everyone counting on us. She nods, for the rebellion. The Ewoks surge forward with surprising courage, throwing themselves at the ATST walkers despite the hopeless mismatch. They use their terrain knowledge, leading the walkers into traps. One walker steps on a concealed pit, its leg plunging through and causing it to topple. Ewoks swarm over it, smashing viewports with rocks and spears, blinding the crew inside. Another walker becomes entangled in vines and cables the Ewoks have strung between trees. It crashes to the ground, vulnerable. The primitive tactics work through sheer audacity, and the Ewoks' willingness to sacrifice themselves for their new allies. Inside the control room, the demolitions expert finishes setting the charges. 5 minutes until detonation. They need to evacuate. But as they begin to retreat, more stormtroopers arrive, blocking their exit. They are trapped. Han realizes they might not make it out, but at least the mission will succeed. At least the shield will come down. He grabs Leia's hand. "I love you." "I know," she replies with a smile despite everything. They prepare to make their last stand. Then salvation arrives from an unexpected quarter. Ewok gliders descend from the forest canopy, primitive flying contraptions that nevertheless work. They strafe the stormtroopers with rocks and spears, creating enough chaos for the strike team to escape. Han and Leia run through the forest, racing against time. Behind them, the charges detonate. The shield generator complex explodes in a massive fireball that lights up the forest moon. Trees ignite from the heat. The shockwave knocks everyone off their feet. But when they pick themselves up and look to the sky, they see it. The shield is down. The Death Star is vulnerable. Back in the throne room, Palpatine senses the destruction of his shield generator. His concentration wavers for just an instant, but that is enough. Luke and Vader have been waiting for any opening, any weakness. They begin their coordinated assault, attacking as one. They move in perfect tandem, their connection through the Force, allowing them to anticipate each other's movements. When Luke strikes high, Vader strikes low. When Vader pushes with the Force, Luke follows with his blade. When Luke feints left, Vader attacks right. They are father and son, united through blood and the Force in a way Palpatine, who has always worked alone, cannot understand or counter. The Emperor defends desperately, his lightsaber moving in complex defensive patterns. His earlier confidence is cracking, replaced by something he rarely feels: fear. These are not separate opponents. They are a single entity with two bodies, and their combined power rivals his own. He channels Force lightning at Luke, attempting to break their coordination. But Vader interposes himself, taking the brunt of the attack on his armor. The electricity crackles across the suit, causing systems to spark and fail, but Vader endures it without crying out. He has suffered worse pain than this, and he will not let his son be hurt. Not again. Not ever. You cannot defeat me. I am eternal, the dark side itself. Palpatine's voice is ragged now, his confidence shattered. But even as he speaks, Luke sees the truth. Palpatine is not eternal. He is an old man who has lived too long, accumulated too much darkness. He has become bloated with power, drunk on it. And now, faced with genuine opposition from two Skywalkers fighting as one, he is revealed for what he truly is: mortal, fallible, defeatable. Luke channels the Force into a powerful push that staggers the Emperor back toward the shattered throne. Vader follows immediately, his blade cutting in a devastating arc. The attack catches Palpatine across his side, searing through his robes and into flesh. The Emperor screams, a sound of pain and disbelief. He stumbles, clutching the wound with one hand while trying to summon lightning with the other. Impossible. This cannot be. I foresaw victory. I foresaw your failure. Luke steps forward, his blade held steady. You foresaw wrong. The future is not written by prophecy or visions. It's written by choices. And we choose to fight. We choose to stand together. We choose hope over despair. The words are simple, but carry enormous weight, because they are true. Palpatine built his empire on fear, on the certainty that the dark side would always triumph. But he never accounted for the possibility that light and dark could work together. That balance could overcome extremism. The Emperor's eyes blaze with hatred. Never. I will see you both destroyed first. He gathers his power for a final attack, dark side energy swirling around him like a storm. But then something changes. The Emperor's concentration breaks as he senses something through the Force. On Endor's surface, the shield generator has been destroyed. Han Solo's team succeeded, overcoming the stormtroopers with the help of the Ewoks. The Death Star is now vulnerable. Palpatine's eyes widen as he realizes his trap has failed. The rebel fleet, no longer held back by the shield, begins its assault on the Death Star's reactor core. No, my Death Star, My empire. Palpatine's focus shifts from the immediate battle to the larger strategic disaster unfolding around him. That moment of distraction is fatal. Vader and Luke attack simultaneously, their lightsabers flashing. Vader's blade strikes first, cutting deep. Luke's follows, the green blade piercing through Palpatine's defenses. The Emperor staggers, his lightsaber falling from his hand. He looks down at the wounds, disbelief on his face. Then he looks up at Vader, at the apprentice who has finally surpassed him. You were supposed to be mine forever. Vader's voice is steady. I was never yours. I belonged to Padme, to my family, to the light. You stole me, imprisoned me in darkness. But my son has freed me. And now, I free the galaxy from you. Palpatine tries to summon his power one final time, lightning crackling weakly at his fingertips. But Vader and Luke strike together, their combined attack overwhelming him. The Emperor's body convulses, dark side energy erupting from him in uncontrolled waves. The throne room shakes as the Death Star begins its death throes. Explosions ripple through the station as rebel fighters destroy the reactor core. Palpatine falls to his knees, his ancient body finally failing. As he dies, his last words are a curse. This is not the end. The dark side is eternal. I will return. Then his body collapses, empty of life. The dark presence that has haunted the galaxy for decades fades, dissipating into the Force. It is over. The Emperor is dead. But the victory is bittersweet. Vader drops to one knee, his armor sparking and smoking from the damage taken during the battle. His breathing is labored, the systems that keep him alive failing. Luke rushes to his side, supporting him. Father, hold on. We need to get you out of here. The station is going to explode. Vader shakes his head slowly. No, my son. I am dying. The Emperor's lightning, the damage to my suit. There is no time. You must go. Save yourself. Luke's eyes fill with tears. I won't leave you. Not after everything. Not after we finally found each other. Vader reaches up with a trembling hand, touching Luke's face. Then help me. Help me see you with my own eyes, before I die. Luke understands. He reaches for his father's mask, deactivating the seals. The hiss of escaping air is followed by the click of magnetic locks releasing. He lifts the mask away and sees his father's face fully for the first time. Scarred, pale, but human, and smiling. Thank you, my son. Anakin's voice, no longer filtered through the vocoder, is weak but clear. You were right about me. There was still good. You brought it out, saved me. Luke clutches his father's hand. We'll get you medical help. Fix your suit. You're not dying. We have so much time now. Time to build something better. Anakin shakes his head slightly. My time is ending, but yours is just beginning. You will rebuild the Jedi Order. Train a new generation. Be the teacher I could never be. And you will be better than me. Better than the Jedi who came before. Because you understand balance. Understand that the Force is not just light or dark, but the harmony between them. The Death Star shakes violently. Explosions ripple through the corridors. They have minutes at most before the reactor core goes critical. Luke makes his decision. He uses the Force to strengthen his father's failing body, pouring his own life energy into Anakin. If you die, I die with you. We survive together or not at all. Anakin's eyes widen. No, Luke. You must live. The galaxy needs you. Luke's voice is fierce. The galaxy needs us, both of us. Now help me get you to the shuttle. We're leaving, now. With tremendous effort, they rise together. Vader's armor is barely functional, but with Luke's support, they stumble toward the hangar where their shuttle waited. The corridors are chaos. Personnel fleeing, systems failing, fires spreading. They reach the hangar just as a massive explosion rocks the station. The shuttle is damaged but functional. Luke helps his father aboard and takes the pilot's seat. He fires up the engines, and they blast out of the Death Star just as it begins its final collapse. The massive station implodes, pulled into itself by the force of the reactor's destruction. A supernova of light and debris marks the end of the Emperor's ultimate weapon. Luke navigates through the debris field, dodging wreckage and escaping TIE fighters. The rebel fleet is victorious but battered. They are regrouping, tending to their wounded, celebrating their impossible victory. Luke brings the shuttle to the Home One's hangar, calling ahead for medical teams. When they land, medics rush forward with equipment designed for high-level trauma. They work on Vader immediately, stabilizing his failing systems, repairing the damaged life support. It is touch and go for hours. Several times, Vader's vitals flatline, and the medics have to resuscitate him. But he holds on, his will to live strengthened by Luke's presence and the hope of redemption. Days pass. The Empire, leaderless and in chaos, begins to fracture like ice breaking in the spring. The news of the Emperor's death spreads across the galaxy at the speed of light, carried by holonet broadcasts that can no longer be controlled by Imperial sensors. Some worlds erupt in immediate celebration. On Coruscant, crowds flood the streets, tearing down statues of Palpatine and celebrating their newfound freedom. On Naboo, Padme's homeworld, the people hold vigils of remembrance, mourning all those lost to the Emperor's tyranny while hoping for a better future. On Alderaan's ruins, the few survivors gather on nearby worlds to grieve what was lost. But not all reactions are joyful. Some Imperial officers, true believers in the New Order, attempt to seize power in the vacuum left by Palpatine's death. Grand Moff Ardus Kaney consolidates his forces and declares himself leader of a pentastar alignment, vowing to preserve Imperial values. Admiral Ray Sloane rallies loyalists to her banner, creating a rival faction. Warlords carve out personal fiefdoms, uncaring about ideology and concerned only with maintaining power. The Empire does not die cleanly. It thrashes and writhes, fragmenting into 100 warring pieces, each claiming to be the true successor. The rebellion, now formally reorganizing itself as the New Republic, faces its own challenges. Years of fighting as guerrillas, striking from the shadows, have not prepared them for governance. Mon Mothma finds herself leading a coalition of disparate groups who agreed on opposing the Empire, but agree on little else. Former Imperial worlds want leniency and inclusion in the new government. Rebel hardliners demand trials and punishment for all who served the Empire. Outer Rim worlds want independence. Core worlds want order restored. Navigating these competing demands requires all of Mon Mothma's considerable political skill. And at the center of the controversy sits Anakin Skywalker, the man who was Darth Vader, the Empire's enforcer, the Emperor's right hand, the monster who slaughtered Jedi and terrorized the galaxy for 2 decades, but also the man who betrayed Palpatine, joined the rebellion, and struck the killing blow that ended the Emperor's reign. He is both hero and villain, symbol and warning. His very existence poses a question the New Republic must answer. What do we do with those who committed atrocities, but then chose redemption? Is reform possible? Is mercy justice? Or does justice demand punishment regardless of later actions? Vader, now stable but forever dependent on medical life support, awakens in a medical bay aboard the Home One. The room is small, barely larger than his meditation chamber on the Executor had been. But unlike that chamber, which was designed to isolate him in darkness, this one has a viewport showing stars. natural light. Luke is sitting beside the bed, as he has been for days. The young Jedi looks exhausted. His face is gaunt, dark circles under his eyes. He has been using the Force constantly to keep his father alive, pouring his own life energy into Anakin's failing body. It has taken a toll. Father, you're awake. Anakin, for that is how he now thinks of himself, looks at his son with eyes that are no longer hidden behind a mask. His new life support system is less oppressive than the old one. Still a breathing apparatus, still cybernetic components, but smaller, less all-encompassing. He can see without filters, can speak without a vocoder, though his voice remains damaged and rasping. How long? 3 days. The medics managed to stabilize your systems. They've built you a new life support apparatus, one without the Emperor's vulnerabilities, without his control chips. You're free of him, finally and truly. Anakin processes this information slowly. His thoughts are sluggish, his body weak. But beneath the physical frailty, there is peace. For the first time in decades, he is not drowning in dark side energy, not fueled by pain and hatred. The constant pressure, the weight of darkness he carried for so long, has lifted. And the galaxy? What of the Emperor? Luke's expression becomes both joyful and sad. Dead. Destroyed. The Death Star is gone. The Imperial fleet scattered. The Empire is collapsing into warlord factions. We won, Father. We actually won. The war is over. Anakin closes his eyes, overwhelmed by conflicting emotions. Relief that Palpatine is finally gone. Grief for all those who died to make it possible. Guilt for his role in creating the very tyranny they fought to destroy. And beneath it all, a tiny spark of something he thought lost forever. Hope. Then it is over. The Emperor's reign has ended. But what of me? What becomes of Darth Vader now? He opens his eyes and looks at Luke. Tell me honestly, what do they plan to do with me? Luke's expression becomes guarded. That's being debated, heavily debated. The New Republic leadership has convened a tribunal to determine your fate. Some want you executed. General Medine is leading that faction. He lost his entire family to an Imperial raid that you personally commanded. He wants justice, revenge. Others think you should be imprisoned for life. Admiral Akbar falls into that camp. He doesn't want you dead, but he can't forgive what you've done either. Wants you locked away, where you can never hurt anyone again. Anakin nods slowly. Both positions are understandable, justified even. I have done terrible things, deserve punishment. What of the third faction? For there must be a third, or you wouldn't look so conflicted. There are some, Luke continues carefully, who think you should be pardoned, completely forgiven for your crimes because you helped end the war. They argue that without your intelligence, without your intervention, Palpatine would have won, that your redemption outweighs your sins. Anakin's laugh is bitter. And what do you think, my son? Do you believe that? Luke meets his gaze. I believe you've changed. Believe you're not Vader anymore. But I also believe actions have consequences. You can't just erase what you've done. The people you've hurt, the lives you've destroyed, they don't disappear because you had a change of heart. You need to face what you've done, atone for it. But I don't think execution or life imprisonment serves anyone. There has to be another way. Anakin reaches out and takes Luke's hand. You are wise beyond your years, wiser than I ever was at your age, or any age. I will face whatever judgment they decree. I deserve no less than the harshest punishment they can imagine. But I am grateful, more than I can express, that I was given the chance to know you, to fight beside you. That is worth more than all the dark side power I ever possessed. Luke squeezes his father's hand. I'm not going to let them execute you. I'll fight for you. Testify on your behalf. Make them understand that people can change, that redemption is possible. The door to the medical bay opens with a soft hiss. Leia enters, still wearing her combat fatigues from Endor, smelling of smoke and forest. She looks exhausted, covered in small cuts and bruises from the battle. But her eyes are hard, focused. She has been fighting non-stop for days. First against the Imperials on Endor, then racing back to the fleet to check on Luke. Now she faces another kind of battle. She sees Anakin lying in the medical bed, vulnerable without his full armor, and her jaw tightens. Luke stands nervously. Leia, I didn't expect you back so soon. How was the battle on Endor? She ignores the question, walking directly to Anakin's bedside. Her hand rests on her blaster, not drawn, but ready. They look at each other for a long moment, father and daughter, destroyer and destroyed, the man who stood by while her world burned, and the woman who survived to see his fall. When she finally speaks, her voice is controlled, but carries an undercurrent of rage barely held in check. You let my world die. You stood in the Death Star's conference room while Tarkin gave the order to destroy Alderaan. I've read the reports. You were there, and you did nothing. Billions of people. My adoptive father, Bail Organa, who was a better father than you could ever be. My adoptive mother, Breha, who loved me unconditionally. My friends, my teachers, everyone I grew up with, all dead. And you stood by and watched. Give me one reason why I shouldn't finish what the Emperor started. One reason why you deserve to live. Anakin meets her gaze without flinching. I have none. You are right to hate me, right to want revenge. Every word you speak is true. I was there. I could have stopped it, should have stopped it. But I was weak, enslaved to the dark side and to Palpatine's will. That is not an excuse, just a fact. If you must kill me to find peace, to avenge your world, then I will not resist. It is no more than I deserve. In fact, it is less than I deserve. He closes his eyes, baring his throat in submission. My life is yours to take, daughter. Do what you must. Leia's hand moves to her blaster, her fingers close around the grip. Luke tenses, ready to intervene, but something in his father's posture stops him. This is Leia's choice, her decision, her right. If Anakin is to truly face the consequences of his actions, he cannot be protected from them. The silence stretches. Leia's finger moves to the trigger. One pull and it would be over. Justice of a sort. Revenge for Alderaan, for her parents, for billions of dead. But as she stands there, staring at this broken man who is somehow her father, she feels something shift inside her. The hatred is still there, the rage, the grief, all of it burning like a sun. But beneath it, there is something else. A tiny voice asking if killing him will bring anyone back. If revenge will heal the wound Alderaan's destruction left in her soul. And the answer, she realizes, is no. Killing Anakin Skywalker will not resurrect her world, will not ease her pain, will only add another death to the countless deaths she has witnessed. And perhaps, just perhaps, Luke is right. Perhaps people can change. Perhaps even monsters can become men again. Her hand drops away from the blaster. She takes a step back, and tears stream down her face. Tears of frustration, of grief, of reluctant mercy. I can't do it. I want to. Part of me will always want to. But Luke was right about me holding on to hate. It's consuming me from the inside, making me into something I don't want to be. And you're my father. Somehow, impossibly, You're my biological father, and you helped stop Palpatine. That has to count for something. Though it doesn't erase Alderaan, nothing ever will. Anakin opens his eyes, and they are wet with tears of his own. I am so sorry, Leia. Sorrier than words can express. For everything I did, for everything I failed to do. You deserved a better father. Deserved to grow up with Bail and Breha, with your planet intact, with a normal life. If I could trade my life to bring them back, I would do so in an instant. But I cannot. All I can do is face the consequences of my choices and hope that someday, perhaps in the far future, you might find it in your heart to forgive me. Not now. I don't expect that. Maybe not ever, but someday. Leia wipes her tears roughly, angry at herself for showing weakness. I don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe never. But I'm willing to see if you can change. If you can become someone other than the monster you were. That's all I can offer right now. Anakin bows his head. That is more than I deserve. Thank you, my daughter, for your mercy, for your strength. You are more like your mother than you know. She had that same core of steel, that same capacity for mercy, even when rage would be justified. Leia's expression flickers. Don't talk about my mother like you knew her. You killed her. Whatever she was, you destroyed it. I did, Anakin agrees quietly. But that doesn't change the truth. You have her courage, her compassion, her refusal to give up even when everything seems hopeless. Leia turns and leaves abruptly, unable to handle the emotional weight of the conversation. Luke follows her into the corridor. She leans against the wall, her composure cracking. I almost killed him, Luke. I had my hand on the blaster, and I almost did it. Luke puts a hand on her shoulder. But you didn't. That took more strength than pulling the trigger would have. Leia shakes her head. Or more weakness. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's right. What would Bail and Breha want? What would Alderaan want? Vengeance or mercy? Luke is quiet for a moment. Then he speaks softly. I think they'd want you to be happy, to find peace, to build the kind of galaxy they fought for. One where even people who've done terrible things can find redemption if they're willing to face what they've done and try to make amends. That's what the rebellion was about, wasn't it? Not just defeating the Empire, but creating something better. Leia looks at her brother, this idealistic young man who somehow became a Jedi, who saved their father's soul, who killed the Emperor. Sometimes I think you're too good for this galaxy, too hopeful. But maybe that's what we need. Hope, even when it seems foolish. The days that follow are filled with difficult conversations as the New Republic leadership determines what to do about Anakin Skywalker. Mon Mothma convenes a formal tribunal, not just to judge him, but to establish precedent for how they will handle all former Imperial officials. The proceedings are broadcast across the galaxy, watched by billions. The tribunal takes place in a converted hangar bay aboard the Home One, large enough to accommodate hundreds of observers. Anakin sits in a defendant's box, flanked by guards. He wears simple robes, not his armor. He looks smaller without it, more human, more vulnerable. The tribunal is composed of 7 judges, drawn from across the Rebel Alliance. Mon Mothma serves as chief adjudicator. Beside her sit Admiral Akbar, representing the military. General Lando Calrissian, who redeemed himself at the Battle of Endor. Senator Garm Bel Iblis, a former Republic senator who opposed Palpatine from the beginning. Captain Rex, one of the few Clone War veterans still alive, who fought alongside Anakin Skywalker before his fall. A survivor from Alderaan named Winter, Leia's childhood friend who barely escaped the planet's destruction. And finally, a former Imperial officer named Ray Sloan, who defected to the rebellion after seeing the Empire's atrocities firsthand. The charges are read: crimes against sapient beings, war crimes, genocide, torture, murder. The list goes on for nearly an hour. Each charge is documented with evidence: hollows of Vader's actions, testimony from survivors, Imperial records that the rebellion captured. The weight of it is crushing. There is no denying what he did, no way to argue innocence. The evidence is overwhelming and irrefutable. Anakin Skywalker, as Darth Vader, committed atrocities on a galactic scale. Then the testimony begins. The prosecution calls witnesses. A woman who was tortured aboard the Death Star, subjected to mind probes that left her psychologically scarred. She describes the black-masked figure who stood by, watching without mercy, as she screamed. An officer from the Imperial Navy who witnessed Vader execute his own men for failure. He describes the casual brutality, the way Vader would choke someone to death for disappointing him. A Jedi survivor, one of the few who escaped Order 66, who watched Vader slaughter his friends at the temple. His voice breaks as he describes seeing younglings cut down by the man who was supposed to protect them. More witnesses follow. A mother whose son was killed during a rebel raid Vader commanded. A pilot who survived one of Vader's Star Destroyer assaults, but lost his entire squadron. A former slave from the Outer Rim who was conscripted into Imperial service under Vader's governance. Each testimony adds weight to the mountain of evidence against him. The audience watches in horrified silence. Many are crying. Some shout for execution. The mood in the hangar is volatile, dangerous. Anakin listens to every word, does not look away, does not make excuses. When witnesses describe his actions, he nods, acknowledging the truth of their accounts. He remembers each atrocity, each person he hurt. The memories are acid, burning through him, but he forces himself to listen, to bear witness to his own crimes. It is the least he owes them. When the prosecution finishes, 4 days have passed. 4 days of testimony, detailing 2 decades of evil. Mon Mothma looks exhausted. Everyone does. How does one even process such horror? Then the defense is given its chance to speak. Luke takes the stand first. He is not a lawyer, has no training in law. But he speaks from the heart. He describes meeting his father on Cloud City. Describes the conflict he sensed even then. Describes how Vader protected him from the Emperor. How he chose to betray Palpatine rather than harm his son. Luke's voice is passionate, convincing. He admits his father's crimes, but argues that he has genuinely changed. That killing him serves no purpose but vengeance. That allowing him to atone, to work toward redemption, creates more value than his death. Leia takes the stand next. Her testimony is more conflicted. She does not defend her father's actions, cannot bring herself to, but she acknowledges his role in defeating Palpatine, acknowledges that without his intervention, the war might still be raging. She speaks quietly about Alderaan, about the pain that will never heal, but also about her mother, Padme Amidala, who believed in redemption until her dying breath. What would Padme want? Leia asks the tribunal. Would she want her husband executed? Or would she want him given a chance to become the man she loved? Other witnesses speak for the defense. Rebel soldiers who fought alongside Vader during the assault on the Death Star. They testify that he fought bravely, that he could have abandoned them but didn't. Admiral Akbar himself takes the stand and admits grudgingly that Vader's intelligence was crucial to the victory, that thousands of rebel lives were saved because of the information he provided. Even General Madine, who called for Vader's execution, acknowledges under questioning that the galaxy is better off with Palpatine dead and Vader played an essential role in that outcome. The testimony phase takes nearly 2 weeks. The tribunal adjourns frequently to deliberate, to review evidence, to argue among themselves. The whole galaxy watches and debates. Holonet forums explode with arguments. Some call for Vader's execution, others defend him. Philosophers debate the nature of redemption and justice. Religious leaders weigh in with their perspectives. It becomes the defining conversation of the era. What do we do with people who commit evil but then change? Is reform real? Does justice require punishment regardless of reformation? Finally, after 16 days of testimony and deliberation, the tribunal reaches a verdict. The hangar is packed with observers. Every screen in the galaxy displays the proceedings. Mon Mothma stands to read the decision. Her voice is tired but firm. The tribunal has considered all evidence and testimony presented. We have weighed the enormous scale of the crimes committed by Anakin Skywalker against his actions in helping to end the Empire. This is not a simple matter of weighing one against the other. The lives he destroyed cannot be returned. The pain he caused cannot be erased. Justice demands accountability. However, the tribunal also recognizes that Anakin Skywalker's intervention was crucial to defeating Emperor Palpatine. His intelligence saved countless lives. His betrayal of the Emperor broke the Empire's power. And his testimony about how he fell to the dark side provides valuable insight into preventing similar falls in the future. After extensive deliberation, the tribunal has reached the following decision. Anakin Skywalker will not be executed, nor will he be imprisoned for life. Instead, he will be exiled, sent to a remote world where he will live in isolation for the remainder of his life. He will have no contact with the general population, no political influence, no ability to cause harm, but he will live. And in that life, he may seek atonement in whatever way he can. The announcement causes an uproar. Some cheer, others boo. Arguments break out in the audience. But Mon Mothma continues over the noise. This decision is not meant to minimize the severity of his crimes. It is meant to acknowledge the complexity of justice, to recognize that even those who commit great evil may, through their later actions and genuine remorse, earn a measure of mercy. This is the kind of galaxy we wish to build, one where redemption is possible, but where consequences remain, where justice and mercy can coexist. The tribunal has spoken. Anakin listens to the verdict with his head bowed. Exile, not execution, not life in a cell, but isolation, separation from everything. It is more than he dared hope for and less than he deserves. When asked if he has anything to say, he stands. His voice is hoarse but clear. I accept the tribunal's judgment. I thank them for their mercy, which I do not deserve. To all those I have harmed, I can only say that I am sorry. Words are inadequate, but they are all I have. I will spend the rest of my life trying to atone, even knowing that I never truly can. That is all. He sits back down. Luke visits him that evening in his holding cell. The space is small but comfortable. Anakin sits on a simple bed, staring at his hands. These hands that have killed so many. Luke enters and sits beside him. How are you feeling? Anakin is quiet for a long moment. Grateful, terrified, relieved, guilty that I get to live when so many I killed did not. All of it at once. Where are they sending me? Luke pulls out a datapad and displays a star chart. A world called Mortis. It's in the unknown regions, uninhabited except for ancient ruins, strong in the Force. The tribunal thought it fitting, a place where you can contemplate what you've done and seek atonement. Mortis. The name resonates with Anakin. He has heard of it in Jedi legends. A vergence in the Force. A place of balance where the light and dark exist in equilibrium. Perhaps fitting for someone trying to find balance within himself. When do I leave? Tomorrow. They want to move quickly before more protests can organize. Some people are very unhappy with the tribunal's decision. Anakin nods. I understand. Luke, I want you to know. You gave me something I thought I lost forever. Hope. The chance to be something other than a monster. I will not waste it. Luke takes his father's hand. I'll visit as often as I can. We're not done, you and I. We have so much lost time to make up for. You're going to help me rebuild the Jedi Order. Teach me what you learned, both the good and the bad. Help me create something better than what came before. Anakin looks at his son with wonder. You would still want my counsel? After everything? Luke smiles. Especially after everything. You've walked both paths, fallen and risen. That makes you the perfect teacher for what comes next. A Jedi Order that doesn't fear the dark side, but understands it. That doesn't suppress emotion, but channels it. That seeks balance instead of extremism. We're going to need your wisdom for that. The next morning, Anakin is transferred to a heavily modified transport ship. The interior has been converted into a mobile medical facility to support his life requirements. Luke and Leia both come to see him off, though Leia keeps her distance, still unable to fully process her conflicted feelings. The transport lifts off and jumps to hyperspace, beginning the long journey to the unknown regions and the world called Mortis. Anakin Skywalker is leaving behind everything he has ever known, everyone he has ever loved, to spend his remaining years in solitude. It is both punishment and gift, exile and freedom. The journey takes weeks, navigating through uncharted space. When they finally arrive at Mortis, Anakin sees a world unlike any he has encountered. It is beautiful in a stark way. Towering crystalline structures reach toward the sky. Strange energies play across the atmosphere. The Force is strong here, so strong it is almost overwhelming. Light and dark in perfect balance. The transport lands near an ancient monastery built into a mountainside. The structure is old, perhaps thousands of years, built by some long-dead Force-sensitive culture. It has been restored somewhat by the New Republic, made habitable, but it is still isolated, still lonely. Anakin settles into his new life on Mortis. The monastery becomes his home, his prison, his sanctuary. He spends his days in meditation, reaching into the Force to understand the balance between light and dark. He practices lightsaber forms, keeping his skills sharp, even though he has no enemies to fight. He tends a small garden, growing vegetables and flowers, simple tasks that bring simple pleasures. And he thinks. He thinks about everything he has done, every life he took, every person he hurt. He carries those memories like stones, weighty and sharp. But he also thinks about the future, about Luke's vision of a new Jedi Order, about how to prevent others from falling as he did, about the nature of the Force itself. Why does it have a dark side? Is it truly evil, or simply misunderstood? Can one touch darkness without being consumed by it? These are the questions he wrestles with in his solitude, and slowly, painfully, he begins to find answers. Months pass, then years. Luke visits regularly, as promised, sometimes bringing other students, Jedi trainees, who need to hear Anakin's warnings about the dangers of the dark side. Anakin teaches them what he knows, shares his experiences, becomes, in a strange way, a teacher. Not the Jedi Master he might have been, but something else. A cautionary tale made flesh. A warning of what happens when fear and anger are allowed to rule. Leia visits less often. The first time she comes to Mortis, 3 years after his exile began. The meeting is stilted and awkward. They walk through the crystalline valleys in silence for a long time before she finally speaks. "I've been thinking about what you said, about me being like my mother. I wanted to know more about her, about Padme. Will you tell me?" Anakin looks at his daughter, surprised and touched. Of course. She was remarkable, strong, brilliant, compassionate. "Let me tell you about the woman I loved." And he does. He talks about Padme for hours, about her work in the Senate, about her belief in democracy and justice, about how she never gave up hope even in the darkest times. Leia listens, crying quietly, learning about the mother she never knew. And in that, sharing, something shifts between them. Not forgiveness, not yet, but perhaps the beginning of healing. More years pass. Anakin's body continues to fail slowly. The damage from Mustafar, from decades of dark side corruption, cannot be fully repaired. But he finds peace in the time he has. He watches Luke build his Jedi Academy, training a new generation. He sees Leia become a prominent leader in the New Republic Senate, fighting for the same justice her mother believed in. He sees the galaxy slowly heal from the Empire's wounds, and he knows that his death, when it comes, will be peaceful, that he will die as Anakin Skywalker, not as Darth Vader. One day, many years after his exile began, Luke arrives at Mortis for his regular visit, but this time is different. Anakin is lying in his bed, his breathing labored even with the life support systems. His body has finally reached the end of its endurance. Luke rushes to his side, taking his father's hand. "Father, don't go. Not yet. We still have time." But Anakin smiles, a genuine smile of contentment. "No, my son, my time has come, and I am ready. I have found peace here, made what amends I could, learned what I needed to learn. It is enough." Vader, now stable but forever dependent on medical support, awakens in a medical bay. Luke is sitting beside him, as he has been for days. The young Jedi looks exhausted but hopeful. "Father, you're awake." Vader, or rather Anakin, for that is how he now thinks of himself, looks at his son. "How long?" 3 days. The medics managed to repair your life support. You'll need a new suit, one without the Emperor's vulnerabilities built in. But you're going to survive. Anakin processes this. And the galaxy? The Emperor, dead. The Death Star destroyed. The Empire is falling apart. We won, Father. We actually won. Anakin closes his eyes, relief and grief warring within him. Then it is over. The Emperor's reign has ended. But what of me? What becomes of Darth Vader now? Luke's expression becomes serious. That's being debated. The New Republic leadership wants to put you on trial for war crimes. Some want you executed. Others think you should be imprisoned for life. A few, mostly because of what we accomplished together, think you should be pardoned. It's complicated. Anakin nods slowly. I understand. I will face whatever judgment they decree. I deserve no less. Luke leans forward. I'm not going to let them execute you. I'll fight for you, testify on your behalf, convince them that you've changed, that you're not Vader anymore. Anakin reaches out and takes his son's hand. You are a good man, Luke. Your mother would be so proud of you, as am I. But do not sacrifice your position, your credibility for me. If the New Republic determines I must die to balance the scales of justice, then so be it. At least I will die as Anakin Skywalker, not as Darth Vader. That is redemption enough. The door to the medical bay opens, and Leia enters. She has been on Endor during the battle, and is only now returning to the fleet. She sees Vader, her father, lying in the medical bed, vulnerable and broken. Her expression is unreadable. Luke stands. "Leia, I didn't expect you back so soon." She ignores him, walking directly to Anakin's bedside. They look at each other, father and daughter, for the first time with full knowledge of their relationship. Leia speaks first, her voice controlled. "You let my world die. Let billions of people be murdered. I watched it happen, felt them die through the Force, even though I didn't understand what I was feeling at the time. Give me one reason why I shouldn't finish what the Emperor started." Anakin meets her gaze steadily. "I have none. You are right to hate me, right to want revenge. If you must kill me to find peace, then I will not resist. It is no more than I deserve." Leia's hand moves to her blaster, but she doesn't draw it. Luke tenses, ready to intervene if necessary. But then Leia's shoulders sag and she steps back. "I can't. I want to. Part of me will always want to. But Luke was right. Holding on to that hate is killing me inside. And you're my father. Somehow, despite everything, you're my father. And you helped stop the Emperor. That has to count for something." Tears stream down her face as she struggles with her emotions. Anakin's own eyes, visible without his mask, are wet. "I am so sorry, Leia, for everything I did, for everything I failed to do. You deserved a better father than me. Deserved to grow up with your real parents, not as an orphan shaped by war. If I could undo it all, I would. But I cannot. All I can do is face the consequences and hope that someday, perhaps, you might find it in your heart to forgive me. Not now, maybe never, but someday." Leia wipes her eyes. "I don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But I'm willing to see if you can change. If you can become someone worth forgiving. That's all I can offer right now." Anakin bows his head. "That is more than I deserve. Thank you, my daughter." Leia turns and leaves quickly, unable to handle the emotional weight any longer. Luke follows her out, leaving Anakin alone with his thoughts. The days that follow are filled with difficult conversations and harder decisions. The New Republic leadership convenes a tribunal to determine Anakin's fate. Luke testifies on his behalf, describing his father's turn from the dark side, his crucial role in defeating the Emperor, his willingness to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Others testify against him, survivors of Imperial atrocities, former rebels who lost loved ones to Vader's blade. The testimony goes on for days, each account adding weight to both sides of the scales. In the end, the tribunal reaches a decision. Anakin Skywalker will not be executed. His actions in defeating the Emperor and ending the war have earned him clemency from capital punishment. However, he will be exiled, sent to a remote world where he will live out the remainder of his life in isolation, cut off from the galaxy he once terrorized. It is a compromise, satisfying neither those who wanted his death nor those who wanted his freedom. Anakin accepts the judgment without protest. Exile is more than he dared hope for. He will live, at least for now, and have the opportunity to meditate on his past and seek true redemption. Luke is permitted to visit him before he is sent away. They meet in a secure room, guards posted outside. "Father, I'm sorry. I tried to get them to let you go free." Anakin shakes his head. "You did more than enough, my son. I am alive because of you. I am Anakin again because of you. This exile is a gift, not a punishment. It gives me time to truly understand what I have done and what I must do to atone." Luke's expression is pained. "Where are they sending you?" "A world called Mortis in the Outer Rim. It is strong in the Force, a nexus where light and dark exist in balance. It will be a fitting place for me to spend my remaining years. Luke reaches out and embraces his father, tears streaming down his face. I'll visit, I promise. Whenever I can get away, I'll come see you. We'll train together, meditate together. You'll teach me everything you know about the Force, both the light and the dark. Help me become the Jedi I need to be. Anakin returns the embrace, his own tears falling. I will. And you will teach me about hope, about redemption. Together, we will forge a new understanding of the Force, one that acknowledges both sides without being consumed by either. They part, and Anakin is escorted to a transport ship. As it lifts off, heading for the Outer Rim and his exile, he looks back at the New Republic fleet one last time. He sees Luke standing in the hangar, hand raised in farewell. Anakin raises his own hand, a silent goodbye. The ship jumps to hyperspace, and he is alone with his thoughts. Ahead lies Mortis. Ahead lies isolation and contemplation. Ahead lies the long, difficult journey toward true redemption. But for the first time in over 2 decades, Anakin Skywalker feels something he thought was lost forever. Hope. Years pass. Luke visits regularly, bringing news of the galaxy and continuing his training. He is rebuilding the Jedi Order, but not as it was before. This new order embraces emotion, acknowledges attachment, and seeks balance rather than suppressing the dark side entirely. Leia visits less frequently, but she comes. Each visit is difficult, filled with long silences and unspoken pain. But gradually, over years, her anger begins to soften. She begins to see not Darth Vader, but the broken man who is genuinely trying to change. Forgiveness does not come easily, but it comes. One day, many years after the exile began, Luke arrives to find his father in meditation. Anakin's body has aged, the constant toll of his injuries and damaged life support accelerating the process. But his spirit is at peace. He opens his eyes as Luke approaches. "My son, it is good to see you." Luke sits across from him, concerned. "How are you feeling?" "Weak, tired. My body is failing, even with all the medical support. I do not have much time left. But that is as it should be. I have lived far longer than I deserved." Luke's face is anguished. "Don't say that. You deserve life, deserve happiness. You've changed so much." Anakin smiles gently. "I have found peace, Luke. That is more than I ever hoped for, and I have you to thank for it. You never gave up on me, even when I had given up on myself. You showed me that redemption is possible, that the light can return even to the darkest souls. That is your gift to me. And now, I give you my final gift. I pass into the Force, but I will not be gone. I will be with you, guiding you, supporting you, just as Obi-Wan and Yoda guided me." Luke's tears fall freely. "I'm not ready to lose you. Not yet." Anakin reaches out and places a hand on his son's cheek, his touch gentle despite the weakness. "You will never lose me, Luke. I will always be part of you, part of the Force itself. And when your time comes, when you have lived a long and full life, we will be reunited. Until then, live. Live fully and without fear. Train the next generation. Build a galaxy where people like me, people who fall into darkness, can find their way back to the light. That is your destiny. That is your legacy. And I will be watching every step of the way, proud of everything you accomplish. So very proud." Luke's tears fall freely. He has lost so much. Lost Obi-Wan, lost Yoda, lost his aunt and uncle. And now, after having just found him, he is losing his father. But there is also peace in this loss, because unlike those others, his father dies redeemed, dies at peace, dies as Anakin Skywalker, not as Darth Vader. That has to be enough. I love you, Father. Anakin's smile widens. I know. And I love you, my son. More than the galaxy itself. You have given me a gift I never thought I would receive. You gave me back my soul. He closes his eyes and takes a final breath. His body relaxes completely. All the tension and pain that has defined him for so long simply flowing away. His mechanical breathing, that rhythmic sound that has been constant for decades, stops. The silence that follows is profound. Anakin Skywalker becomes one with the Force, his essence preserved by the very power he once corrupted. His redemption is complete. His journey, that began as a slave boy on Tatooine dreaming of the stars, has ended in peace on a world strong with the Force. It is, perhaps, the ending he deserved all along, not as a villain, not as a cautionary tale, but as a man who fell, suffered, and ultimately chose to return to the light. Luke sits with his father's body for a long time, holding his hand even as it grows cold. Grief and peace war within him, each emotion as powerful as the other. He grieves the father he never really got to know, the years they could have had if circumstances had been different. But he also feels peace, knowing his father found redemption. That Anakin's story, despite all the darkness, ended in light. That is not nothing. That is everything. Outside the monastery, the crystalline structures of Mortis chime softly in the wind, as if the planet itself is singing a funeral song. Then he feels it. A presence in the Force. Not one, but several. Luke looks up and his breath catches. They are there, standing in the corner of the room. Force ghosts, their forms translucent and glowing with soft blue light. Obi-Wan Kenobi stands tall and serene, his expression gentle and wise. He looks younger than when Luke knew him, restored to his prime. Beside him is Yoda, the ancient Jedi Master, his ears perked up and his eyes twinkling with the wisdom of centuries. And standing between them, radiant and whole, is Anakin Skywalker. But this is not the broken, scarred man who just died. This is not the armor-encased monster that terrorized the galaxy. This is Anakin, as he was meant to be, as he would have been had he never fallen. Young, perhaps 30 years old, with clear blue eyes and a confident smile. His robes are Jedi whites, unmarred by smoke or blood. His body is whole, unscarred, unburdened. He is free in a way he never was in life, free of pain, free of guilt, free of the dark side's chains. He is, finally and completely, at peace. The three Jedi Masters smile at Luke, and in that smile is recognition, pride, and love. Obi-Wan speaks first, his voice echoing as if from a great distance, yet also intimate and close. You have done well, Luke. Better than I ever hoped. You brought balance to the Force, not by destroying the Sith, but by redeeming them, by choosing love over hatred, by proving that even the fallen can rise again. Yoda nods, his ears bobbing. Proud of you, we are. The Force is strong with you, young Skywalker. Strong indeed. But remember, more to learn, there always is. The journey does not end, it merely changes. Anakin steps forward, and his presence in the Force is overwhelming in its warmth. Luke, my son, thank you for believing in me when no one else did, for seeing the good in me when I could not see it myself, for giving me the chance to die as Anakin Skywalker instead of Darth Vader. You have saved me in every way a person can be saved, and now I can be with you always, guiding you, supporting you, loving you. Whenever you need me, reach out through the Force. I will be there. Luke reaches out toward the apparition, and for a moment, he swears he can feel his father's hand in his own. Thank you for coming back, for fighting Palpatine, for choosing us. Anakin's smile is radiant. Thank you for giving me the choice." The three Force ghosts begin to fade, their forms dissolving into motes of light that drift upward like fireflies. But their presence lingers, a warmth in the Force that wraps around Luke like a comforting blanket. He knows, with absolute certainty, that he is not alone, will never be alone. The Jedi who came before will always be with him, guiding and supporting, and his Father, redeemed and restored, will watch over him always. It is more than Luke dared hope for, more than he thought possible. He bows his head in gratitude and grief and profound relief. He stays on Mortis for 3 more days, making arrangements. Anakin's body is cremated in the Jedi tradition, his ashes scattered across the crystalline valleys. Luke speaks words of remembrance, not hiding what his father was, but also celebrating what he became. He talks about redemption, about second chances, about the power of love to overcome even the deepest darkness. And as the ashes drift on the wind, Luke feels his father's presence one more time, a gentle touch of approval and love. Then it is time to leave. Luke returns to his Jedi Academy, a collection of structures built on the moon of Yavin 4, where the rebellion once had its base. Dozens of students train here, young Force sensitives from across the galaxy who seek to become the new generation of Jedi. They are diverse, coming from different worlds and cultures, bringing different perspectives. This is not the monolithic Jedi Order of old. This is something new, something better. An order that embraces emotion instead of suppressing it, that acknowledges the existence of the dark side without fearing it, that seeks balance instead of purity. Luke gathers his students in the main hall, a large open space with windows looking out over the jungle moon. They sit in a circle, as equals, not in rigid hierarchies. Luke stands at the center and begins to speak. "I have just returned from Mortis, where my father passed away. Anakin Skywalker. Many of you know him by another name. Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, the Emperor's enforcer, a monster who killed thousands and terrorized the galaxy for 2 decades. All of that is true, but it is not the whole truth." The students listen intently. Some of them lost family members to Vader's actions. Others were too young to remember the Empire. But all of them are fascinated by this complicated figure. Luke continues, "My father was also a Jedi, the chosen one, prophesied to bring balance to the Force. He was a hero of the Clone Wars, a skilled pilot and warrior, a man who fought to protect the innocent. He was a husband who loved his wife more than life itself, a friend who inspired loyalty in those who served with him. All of that is also true. So which was he, hero or villain, good or evil? The answer is both. He was both. And that is the lesson I want you to take from his story." Luke begins to pace, his voice growing more passionate. The old Jedi Order taught that the dark side was to be avoided at all costs, that any touch of darkness would inevitably lead to corruption and fall. And they were not entirely wrong. The dark side is seductive, dangerous, corrupting. But by treating it as absolute evil, by suppressing emotions like anger and fear and passion, they created the very conditions that led to their downfall. My father fell because he was afraid of losing my mother. And rather than help him process that fear, rather than teach him how to channel it, the Jedi told him to suppress it, to let go, to accept loss. And that pushed him into Palpatine's arms. One of the students, a Twi'lek girl named Ayla, raises her hand. "Master Luke, are you saying we should embrace the dark side? That we should give in to anger and fear?" Luke shakes his head. "No. I'm saying we should acknowledge it, understand it, learn to recognize when we're being influenced by darkness, and make conscious choices about how to respond. My father's mistake wasn't that he felt fear. Fear is natural, especially when you're about to lose someone you love. His mistake was letting that fear control him, letting it drive him to actions he knew were wrong. The dark side didn't make him evil. His choices did. Another student, a human boy named Ben, speaks up. But how do we know when we're being controlled by darkness? How do we recognize it? Luke smiles. That's the question, isn't it? And the answer is mindfulness, awareness, constantly examining our motivations and asking why we're doing what we're doing. If you're acting out of fear, anger, or desire for power, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself if this is truly the right action, or if you're being driven by darkness. The Force flows through all things, light and dark. We are not meant to live in one extreme or the other. We are meant to find balance, to acknowledge both sides of ourselves and choose, consciously and deliberately, which path to walk. The students discuss this among themselves, debating the finer points. Luke lets them. This is how learning happens. Not through dogma handed down from on high, but through discussion, debate, personal reflection. After a while, he raises his hand for silence. Let me tell you the full story of Anakin Skywalker. Not just his fall, but his redemption, because that is equally important. And for the next several hours, Luke tells the tale. He speaks of his father's childhood as a slave on Tatooine, of his discovery by Qui-Gon Jinn and training as a Jedi, of his love for Padme and his fears about losing her, of his fall to the dark side and transformation into Darth Vader, of the terrible things he did as the Emperor's enforcer. But Luke also tells of their meeting on Cloud City, of his father's conflict, the doubt Luke sensed even then, of how Vader protected him from the Emperor and chose to betray Palpatine, of how they fought together against the dark side and won, of his father's exile and his long years of atonement, of how Anakin died at peace, redeemed and restored. The students listen with rapt attention. Some cry at the tragedy of it. Others are inspired by the redemption. All of them understand that this is not a simple story. There are no easy answers here. Just the messy, complicated reality of a man who made terrible choices and spent the rest of his life trying to make amends. When Luke finishes, one of the older students, a Zabrak woman named Surik, asks the question that is on everyone's mind. Do you think he earned redemption? After everything he did, after all the lives he destroyed, was helping to defeat the Emperor enough? Luke is quiet for a moment, considering. Then he speaks carefully. I don't know if redemption can be earned. I don't know if there's some cosmic scale where you can balance out evil deeds with good ones. But I do know this. My father changed. Genuinely, truly changed. The man who died on Mortis was not the same man who stood by while Alderaan burned. And that change mattered. Not because it erased his crimes. Nothing can erase them. But because it meant he spent his last years trying to be better, trying to atone, trying to prevent others from falling as he did. And I think that matters. I think the effort to change, even when it's hard, even when you know you can never fully make up for what you've done, that effort has value. The students ponder this. Some nod in agreement. Others look uncertain. That's okay, Luke thinks. These are not easy questions. There are no perfect answers. But wrestling with them, struggling to understand them, that is what will make his students better Jedi than those who came before. Because they will not have the arrogance of certainty. They will understand nuance, gray areas, the reality that people are complicated and that the Force itself is vast and mysterious. Over the following weeks and months and years, Luke continues to build his academy. He teaches his students the traditional Jedi arts: lightsaber combat, force techniques, meditation, diplomacy. But he also teaches them ethics and philosophy. He makes them read accounts of the Clone Wars and the Empire, studying both the Jedi's triumphs and their failures. He brings in guest speakers, people who suffered under the Empire, people who worked for it, people who fought for the rebellion. He wants his students to understand the real cost of conflict, the real impact of their choices. And often, in his private meditations, Luke reaches out through the Force and touches his father's presence. Anakin is always there, a gentle warmth, offering guidance when Luke needs it. They talk about the students, about the challenges of teaching, about the future of the Jedi Order. Anakin shares his hard-won wisdom, the lessons he learned through decades of pain and failure. And Luke listens, grateful for this connection, for this chance to know his father, even in death. Leia visits the academy sometimes, though she is busy with her work in the Senate. She has become one of the New Republic's most influential leaders, fighting tirelessly for justice and democracy. She and Luke talk late into the night during her visits, discussing politics and philosophy and family. She still struggles with her feelings about Anakin. Forgiveness does not come easily, but she is healing, slowly, finding peace with the complicated truth of her heritage. She even, on one occasion, asks Luke to help her meditate and connect with their father's Force ghost. The conversation that follows is brief and painful and cathartic. Anakin apologizes again. Leia accepts it, not forgiving, but acknowledging. It is enough. The years pass. Luke's academy grows. His students graduate and go out into the galaxy, not as warriors, but as peacekeepers and teachers. Some of them stumble. Some of them struggle with darkness. But they always have the option to return, to seek help, to find their way back to the light. Because that is the lesson of Anakin Skywalker, that no matter how far you fall, redemption is possible if you are willing to face what you've done and try to be better. It is a lesson the galaxy desperately needs, a lesson that will shape the Jedi Order for generations to come. And sometimes, late at night, when Luke cannot sleep, he stands at the window of his quarters and looks up at the stars. So many worlds out there, so many people, so much potential for both good and evil. He thinks about his father, about everything Anakin went through, about the choices he made, both terrible and noble, about the fact that even the Chosen One, even the most powerful Force user in history, was still just a man, flawed, broken, striving. And Luke draws strength from that. Because if Anakin Skywalker could find redemption, then anyone can. If someone who committed such atrocities could change, could choose to be better, then there is hope for everyone. He reaches out through the Force one more time and feels his father there, always there, a constant presence. "Thank you," Luke whispers into the darkness, "for everything. For believing in me," Anakin's voice responds, warm and filled with love. "For giving me the chance to be your father. For saving me when I could not save myself. You are the best of us, Luke. The best of me and Padme. Never forget that. Never doubt yourself. You will do great things. Will build something greater than the Jedi Order of old. And I will be watching, proud always." Luke smiles and turns away from the window. Tomorrow he has classes to teach, students to train, a Jedi Order to build. The work is never done. But he does it gladly, knowing that he is creating something his father would be proud of, something his mother would have fought for, a galaxy where even the fallen can find redemption, where balance is prized over extremism, where love is stronger than hate. That is the legacy of Anakin Skywalker. Not the terror he caused as Vader, but the hope he represented in his return to the light. And Luke will ensure that legacy endures. He thinks of his father standing with Obi-Wan and Yoda, the three of them watching over him, and all the Jedi who will come after. He thinks of how Anakin looked in that final Force vision, young and whole and at peace, free of pain and guilt and darkness. Finally, after so many years of suffering, free. And Luke knows that his father's journey, despite all the tragedy and horror along the way, ultimately had meaning, that Anakin's life and death and redemption will inspire countless others, will show them that change is possible, that even in our darkest moments, we can choose to turn toward the light. That's the story Luke tells his students, not of Darth Vader, the Empire's enforcer, though that is part of it, but of Anakin Skywalker, the slave boy who became a Jedi, who fell to darkness, who suffered for decades, and who ultimately chose redemption, who proved that no matter how far you've fallen, no matter what you've done, you can still choose to be better. You can still find your way back. Some call Anakin a hero, some call him a monster. Luke believes he was both. But in the end, when it mattered most, he was a father. And that, Luke thinks, is what saved him. What saved them all. The Force is in balance now, light and dark, coexisting as they always should have. The Jedi Order is rebuilding, wiser and humbler than before. The galaxy is healing from the Empire's wounds, and somewhere in the Force, 3 Jedi Masters watch over it all, guiding and protecting. Obi-Wan, wise and patient. Yoda, ancient and knowing. And Anakin, redeemed and restored. Together, they have become something greater than they ever were in life. They have become legend, symbol, hope. And their legacy, carried forward by Luke and his students, will shape the galaxy for generations to come. This is the power of redemption. This is the lesson of Anakin Skywalker, that the Force offers balance, that even the fallen can rise, that love is stronger than hate, that hope endures even in the darkest times, and that every single person, no matter what they've done, has the capacity to choose a different path, to turn away from darkness and toward the light. It is never too late. It is never impossible. As long as there is life, there is hope. As long as there is choice, there is redemption. That is the truth at the heart of the Force, and it is a truth that will echo across the stars for all time. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.